Yeah.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Boston.
Turbulence in the chat.
Yeah.
Turbulence in the chat.
Boston. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Static selector.
Yeah.
We're working too.
Boston.
I mean, my man had to run across three.
Yeah.
We're working too.
Boston.
I mean, my man had to run across 3 lanes.
Can you hear me?
Static selector.
Yeah. Boston. Can you hear me?
Turbulence in the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Boston.
Static selector.
Yeah.
Static selector.
Boston. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Like, can you look at this from both sides? And this comes out that she actually did it. Are you ready to like?
You sound like Higgins.
Yeah.
You wrong.
I'm starting with the man in the middle.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Run the track, run the track, run the track, run the track, run the track.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Boston.
Static
Turbulence in the
selector.
chat.
Yeah.
Turbulence in the chat.
Static selector.
Yeah.
We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you.
Static selector.
Yeah.
We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our
Rappity rap rap rap. Song's fire. Pretty dope, right? For sure, for sure. Throw your peace signs up right now if you're rocking with Trill Static 5. Let's go. J.F.K. What up? There we go. Let's do it. What we doing here? You know? Yeah, turn it up. Let's go. Woo! Trill Static 5. Let's go.
Static 5, you heard? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's got like 50, 60 tracks, man.
A lot of money.
Nice. What's going on, chat?
James Jackson's up in here with us.
James Jackson, what up, man?
What up, Renee? How we doing?
What up, Renee?
My grandfather was known, he was the greatest, he was the president of the local MC. What up, Lyrical? Any show-off shows this week?
Nah, but there's one next week.
Well, our Basil finished tomorrow in Florida, but I was 2 hours from Miami. What up, Ivan? How's the lenses looking? The lenses look all right? Thank you, Becky. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Joey Crack, for sure. West Side's supposed
Mic check to the gods, man. We right back in it like we left something, man. How we doing, doggy?
God damn, what's happening?
Man,
Happy
I'm hitting this
Saturday.
cup of coffee. Man, I'm just hitting this cup of coffee, hoping that this shit does something to the boy, man. It's been a long day, my dude.
I hear you. I hear you working
Jay
too.
Brilliant. Jay Brilliant.
What up? What up?
We here. Man, I was gonna go on at 10 o'clock, man, but I couldn't miss my boy. John Cena's last
I
match.
knew you were
man.
watching wrestling. I was
Man,
too.
I couldn't miss that shit, man. John Cena, man, that was hot touching, man. He fought that piece of shit Gunther. Goddamn Gunther.
You see
Choke
how he
my
smiled at the end and just was like,
Yeah. Goddamn Cena, you tapped
"Said,
out.
I'm done."
God
You haven't
damn,
tapped-
Cena.
You haven't tapped out in 20 years, Cena. You know
You're
what?
a little man, and your life will always suck because of you. You're a rat. And you're not ruining my life, because my life is still fucking good.
What?
Unlike yours. And that's the best revenge.
Can't hear
My
that,
life is going to
Brilliant?
be good. And yours is going to continue to
Can
suck
you hear
because you're a piece of shit. You'll turn on your friends. You don't even know what friendship is. You're a rat.
You're
I
a
ain't
rat.
crying.
No.
I'm laughing my ass off. You're a piece of shit. You're a
I
rat.
love it.
Because my life is still fucking good.
Yeah.
Unlike yours.
God damn, Mikey.
And that's the best revenge, bitch. You're a little man, and your life will always suck.
He
Well,
emphasized
this is-
that too.
Like a
Yeah.
Mikey Mike.
Well, this is part 32 of Politics as Usual in Massachusetts. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, I need a warm welcome. But before we do that, I just want to do a quick roll call. I go by the name of J.F.K.
And I go by Kevy Kev.
And I go by Jay Brilliant.
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, 192 people on on chat, on flight. You know how this goes, right? If you have a carry-on, please put it up in the over bin compartments. We got plenty of room. And if you have a backpack, please put it underneath your seat. Keep it real tight for the flight because it could move. But before you do, make sure you grab your Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, your Hershey Kisses, your Cliff Bars, your vapes, your nips. Whatever your vice might be, put your trays up because we're going to take you up to 39,000 feet. Remember, we got goals in different area codes. Go ahead and populate them right now, and let's get the conversation moving. And turbulence in the chat keeps the plane rocking. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on Part 32, we're going to have a reading. We're going to figure out who's lying. You never know, Adi. We might find out where we can find you. We have the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now. I need a warm welcome. Yes, Lady Zelda.
Static selector.
Here she is. Lady Zelda, let's go, let's go. Peace signs up, ladies and gentlemen. Peace signs up. Okay. Here we go. 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 Come on. Let's go. Yes. Got a piece of love in this chat tonight. Let's go. Mama J says she loves you. Chrissy, Ada waits in here. Renee is here. Diane, Greek Princess. Cat. Let's go. Oh. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Lady Zelda, welcome to the JFK Fuckery Donut Shop with me, JFK, Kevy Kev 781, and my boy Jay Brilliant. How you doing tonight, sweetheart?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you, fellows? Thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm so excited. Thank
Excellent.
you.
That's beautiful. So, Lady Zelda, I got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind
Yes, sir.
asking a couple.
Yes.
Where are you right now? Like, where are you from and where are you broadcasting from, if you don't mind me asking?
I am, let me turn up my mic a little bit, or I can't really hear you, but I am originally from Ohio. I am located in the South. I really don't tell where I am, but I'm in the South. So I am Northern by birth and Southern by the grace of God. So that's where I am.
Great. Okay. So what made you get into this? You know, obviously you're free Karen Reed. You got into this whole Higgins, and I seen you reading the cards on different people. What made you get into it? What turned your mind? What should I say? Made you realize that Karen Reed was absolutely innocent? What did it for you?
I just said on my channel tonight that I first saw her because it wasn't really broadcast in my area. And I first saw her when I was on YouTube. And I saw her coming down the steps long ago with her attorney, Yannetti. And I looked at her and I thought, she didn't do this. A woman like her, educated, has a lot to lose. Why would she take such a risk and do this? She didn't do this. You could tell by the way she resonated. She didn't do it. Very much
Wow.
so. She didn't do it. Then I
So
started, I'm sorry, go right
that's
ahead.
fine. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your talk.
Well, then because I had been on YouTube reading cards and I work on a psychic line and I do all this other, and I used to work on, you guys have probably heard of it, Psychic Friends Network, long time
Oh,
ago with
really?
Dionne Warwick.
Yeah.
I was her premier psychic for years. And
Wow.
then I just kind of went from there and I quit for a little while. But the lady that, here comes my producer,
Oh, there
the
she is.
lady that owns the psychic line basically said, you got to see this case, Zelda. You got to see this case. You got to read on it. You got to, and I did. And believe me, I took some backlash, and I took some backlash big time. But then I just started, and it's been a wonderful journey because there's been so many wonderful people that I have met, and it has been just really amazing. So, yeah, and here we are to this day. Now I have my show, and it's grown like that. So it's amazing.
It is. You're doing well on YouTube. That's great. So when
Thank you.
when did you when did you realize you had these powers, so to speak? Is that how you would describe what you do? Is it powers?
Um, i- ability, ability. You can say that. When I
I
was
like that.
four, when I was four, but I come from a long line, ancestral line of people from Europe down through the line. And so it's been literally, you can say, all my life. I had my 50th anniversary of card reading last March 15th.
Wow.
So, yeah, yeah.
50
So
years
that's
in the
it.
paint, huh?
50 years checking
Wow.
them off. 50 years of checking it off.
You look awesome. 50
Thank
years, I
you.
couldn't tell. God damn, Lady Zelda, what you doing? What's your secret? What do you got? Other secret powers for aging? I mean, let us know. God damn, Lady
Well,
Zelda.
well, I'm going to be 66 in March.
No, get out of
So
here, Lady Zelda.
no, no, that's your girl. That's your girl. So
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the
thank you.
streets.
Will you come underneath the mistletoe with me, Lady Zelda?
Bring it. Bring
Run it.
it.
God damn, Lady Zelda.
Oh shit.
Oh
Ah,
my God.
Jesus.
You guys are so fun.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you. I just cannot
Yeah.
wait. I've
That's
got to
awesome.
tell you what, Attorney Nan, and I love her. We talk. Attorney Nan, I'm going to tell you a plan here. Attorney Nan, and this is Sammy, by the way, one of many. That's
Hey,
why I'm an
Sammy.
expert on cats.
That's awesome.
I love cats.
Attorney Nan and I are going to approach, when this settles down and maybe this coming spring, we're going to approach the owners of 34 Fairview Road. Nan is going to write an introductory letter for me and say, look, we've got this person who wants to come in and who wants to chat and do a reading on the home of 34 Fairview, on the yard, on the basement, on the garage.
Wow.
And Nan, bless her heart, she said, yeah, the only fee that I will ask you for is right. The only fee that I will ask you for is that I get to go along. So that is kind of sort of the plan, and we'll do the best we can to see what we can do to get over there and do a
Now, how does that
reading.
work? You go inside the so if you went inside that house, you would pick up vibes from John there. Is that how that goes down?
Yes, in fact, on my a lot of people that are coming in right now are were in my channel. We were doing EVPs where John appeared to me last Christmas. I think it was Christmas Eve, and showed me things, and then it started coming out in the trial. So it was pretty amazing. So yes, we were just doing EVPs with those are voice phenomenon type readings on a device that I have. And believe me, it mentions names, it says places, it does all kinds of things. So it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Give me 1 second. We got Boozy Beauty in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I need peace signs up for Beauty Boozy. Got to put your
Hi
peace
there,
signs up
Boozy.
right
Hi
now.
there, my darling.
Let's go. I need peace signs up. Peace signs up for Boozy. She's a beauty. Boozy. Come on, come on. Everybody put your peace signs up for Boozy. She ain't playing. She's working too. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. I love it.
I love you too, my darling.
Nothing but love. Here we go. Awesome. Boozy. I actually met Boozy. She's definitely a beauty. I ain't gonna lie.
She is. She is. She's a showstopper. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She certainly is.
She's pretty for sure. She's a nice girl too. And she don't take no shit, you know.
Amen.
And I like her style. On her TikTok, she goes crazy. I see some of her videos. She's like, in one of her videos, she was like, "They still have the phones." What is like? You see that one when she was like, "They still have her phones," like because that's the thing. Like we were saying the same thing with the wiretap thing, and I don't want to touch too much into that because tentacles. But the point is, we were talking about the whole wiretap thing, and we're like, are we the only one that thinks it's a big deal that the DA's trying to indict her for witness intimidation, and now there's a recording out there of her saying something about that, so to speak, and she spoke on it on her she spoke on it on TikTok. She was upset, but she was passionate. I would say it was more passionate being upset. But yeah, I definitely felt her vibes on that for sure. Boozy Beauty, ladies and gentlemen. So if you went to 34 Fairview, you would feel the energy of John. And you said on Christmas of last year, he came to you about some things in the trial things that came out in the trial. What was that came out in the trial?
His socks being upside down. The heel of his socks were on the top of his feet. He took me several places in this. It's called remote viewing. And I woke up and immediately got on because I made kind of a little video and I immediately wanted to say what I had seen. And because sometimes I don't have to say anything. Sometimes I get tapped on the shoulder or wakened up or anything like that. But it was the socks. And it was about, those were not his shoes. And he showed me himself laying on a gurney. He was across the room from me at the hospital. He had already been pronounced. And there was a police officer or a trooper that had his back toward me, who was patting John's arm. He had a blue glove on, just patting John's arm, all the way down his arm, patting. And then somebody came along and called for him, and he left. But John's clothes were on the floor, and John pointed to the clothes. They were on the floor. He wasn't really saying anything. He was just showing. He was just showing me what was going on in there. So, but they left his socks on, and they were upside down. And I just feel that there were reasons of why that was happening. So, and they were Adidas. They were not Nike. And I don't You know, this is a man who was, I just said, fastidious about matching, taking his shoes off inside the house. Let's just say for giggles that let's just say that he took his shoes off in 34 Fairview. Would he have dog hair on his socks? Could that be a reason why they changed his socks? I don't know. But I can tell you what, he showed me the point or the part where he was going to the basement and he was pushed from behind. There were 3 in front of him, 2 behind him, and they pushed him from behind. He fell into the ones in front of him, and it ensued. They jumped from there. And he showed me how they were standing over him and laughing. Then he told me that they put him in a cold, dark place. And the one thing that I've always wondered is who made that collective decision when John was down? Who made that decision of, what are we going to do with this guy? If he wakes up, if he recovers, he's going to testify against us. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about him? How are we going to handle this situation? Who made that decision? Was it a collective decision or was it one person? And he showed me the dog. He showed me Chloe. He showed me, I mean, it happened so fast. And then the next thing you see, he's laying in a cold, dark room. And that was it. But they also tried to wrap his head. And he showed me that with towels. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not. You know why
Say whatever,
he
say whatever
was.
you want.
That's a mafiosa thing. To wrap someone's head in towels after something like that happens. Look how much blood that man lost, and where is it? 3 liters? Where did it go? Where is it? These are things that were pointed out, and it's like, wait, let's think about this. He gave me the names of 4 people. I can't say them. Not on here because I'm not going to accuse anyone of doing anything. But I saw who was there.
You want to text Jay Brillion? He'll say it. He don't care.
God damn.
Jay Brillion will say whatever he wants. He don't give a fuck.
I think you can probably guess. There you go.
Let me explain something. I think Jay Brillion might be the mafia. God damn it.
You're wrong.
At this point, wouldn't you trust the mafia before you would trust the law enforcement up there?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I certainly would. Cheers to the mafioso. Right?
Cheers to the mafioso, for sure. Cheers to that. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Yeah,
so this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. Finish your thought. You want to finish out? Go ahead.
What I was just going to say is this is a time when you also have to think, because, dogs and cats and animals carry collective energy as well. And it was so funny because in one of the readings that I did, I said, okay, who is this? And the card with a dog came out right there. So I knew, and it's so heartbreaking to think. And of course, his birthday just passed. John's birthday just passed, December 8th.
Yep.
And you kind of have to think, where are these people and what in the heck are they doing? Who made that decision? And who are they protecting? Think about this. Why would you fight so hard? Well, it could be because you might have a son somewhere along the way who, I don't know, possibly sort of kind of might have had some type of something to do with everything. So there's a lot of things that I think if you dig deep, but one of the things that I said tonight on my channel was, think about the song that randomly Jennifer played, Raining Men. Look at the lyrics of that song. That is a song where somebody is challenging the perimeters, challenging what had happened, and being empowered. Because I've always said she was the fixer, in my opinion. And then I said not long ago that she was dealing in dark arts, and what came out? Well, that she had voodoo dolls in her living room. And she would do everything and anything that she possibly could to make sure that this was a situation that she could overcome. And she's not untouchable. She certainly is not.
When you speak on Jen, like right now, in the right now, what do you feel like her energy is like right now? Is she nervous? Is she confident?
She's nervous.
Nervous.
She's nervous. She's very nervous because she's figuring out that people are not letting this go. I don't care how much money that they come up with on their little website and all this other, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Because how are they going to divide that up? That's just another collective decision of whose idea was this. Hello. When you divide those funds up, they can't all use the same attorney, it's my understanding.
No.
So
you're
how
right.
are they going to do that?
James
It's
Jackson
not
spoke
enough.
on that today. I was on James Jackson's show today. Shout out.
Oh, were you?
Shout out. Yeah, me and James, man. I jumped on the layover. It was supposed to be a peaceful show, and then we ended up talking a lot of shit. Goddamn James Jackson. Can't escape it with James Jackson. But yeah, but James brought that up because my point is that I was telling people that, going against Karen and everybody saying these things about Karen, they don't understand. It makes the movement or the community, whatever you want to call what it was. I don't know what it is now. I don't know what you call this thing now. I'm independent. That's where I'm at with it. But it made us look weak because they do have people backing them up. It's not a lot of money that they made, like you say, when you break it down individually. Because what are you going to spend 10,000 on this one, 10,000 on that one? But still, it goes to show you that there's a big presence in Massachusetts and beyond that people actually do think Karen Reed is guilty. They think she did it and got away with it, and that's just a fact. So when we come off weak, they're laughing at us, and it makes it look suspicious when people are talking bad about Karen, because what it does is
Right.
people are like, well, she fooled you guys too, huh? So if she fooled you guys, did she fool you all the way into your beliefs? And that's just not good work, especially this early in the game. You didn't even get time to really process this whole situation or see how it played out, But yeah, so we were talking about that as far as the money goes. Who's going to split what and who's going to get it? That's a smart thought
Well,
that you have there.
here's a question. Are we that positive that they didn't donate themselves?
It is. It's possible they could have, but believe it or not, being from Massachusetts, I'm not in Massachusetts right now, but I travel back and forth like every month. But being from there and having my guys sitting in Mass right now as we speak, believe it or not, like when you go play Keno or something and you go talk to people and you bring it up, because I'm hand over fist. I'm a hand over fist dude. I love talking to the people in the streets. That's how I get my information. And that's what motivates me to jump on the internet, because I kind of take the temperature of the streets and it gives me a balance to handle the internet. Because some people think the internet is the end all be all, but in reality, there's a whole other world out there if you really just go out there and talk to people. But yeah, a lot of people will say, nah, she did it. She got away with it, And until she gets exonerated, that's the only way we're going to get justice for John O'Keefe. We're going to start turning heads. Or we can make Peggy O'Keefe, like, watch one of these videos or listen to someone like yourself, what you're saying, and make her say, hey, I got some questions. Until that happens, sometimes the sneak gets away,
I'm not so sure Peggy O'Keefe would be that. When I watched her come out of court that one time after she testified, and I was not impressed with her testimony. Pardon me. I just, I was not. When she came out of court and gave everybody the Canton salute, read between the lines type of thing. Who does that? Who does that? So
Why
you know,
why do you think why let's stay with Peggy for a second. Why do you think Peggy feels this way?
because I think that she was told the narrative, and I don't think that she ever liked Karen. I think her husband did, and that made Mrs. O'Keefe mad for whatever reason. I don't think she ever liked Karen. And I think this was the moment that somebody came to her and said, Karen did it. Yeah, she did it. I get it. She did it. Okay. She's the one responsible. She did it.
Do you think
And
it
I
got
think
anything to do with the way Karen acted that morning, though?
I think in Karen's shoes, I can't say if I would have acted any differently, what I would have done any differently. I mean, that's a hard call to happen like that. I'm so glad that Karen had her father and her brother with her when they went over to One Meadows. But I think that Mrs. O'Keefe had her mind made up right from the beginning. And I believe that's why Miss Jennifer, in my opinion, went right over there and told the narrative. That was what I believe. Told the narrative. This is the way it is. I mean, they're all from Canton. They're all locals. They're all from there. You know, the McAlberts, now the
Well,
McDefendants have.
actually,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Peggy's really not from Canton, though. She lived in Braintree, and
Oh,
Canton's
that's
kind
right.
of
She did.
yeah, it's kind of up the block. But
Okay.
but
That's
let me
right.
just say this about Peggy, right? So Karen goes there, and then she's with her dad and her father. I mean, it's dad and her father, her dad and her brother. Um, and it's like, hey, we was at a party, and I left. I mean, your mother. I mean, I always said this about Peggy. Like, she's an old school mother from Beantown. What do you mean you left? You left him there? And people will say, John's a grown man. He could do whatever he wants. I hear that all the time. Whoa, almost dropped the coffee. That would have been bad. But yeah. But that's the way old mothers think. Like, if you go there with your man, you should leave with your man. And regardless, I know John was a 46-year-old man. That still was her baby boy. And I used to get back. The only reason why I'm bringing this up because you're knee deep in the Karen Reed stuff from way back, and so ain't I. I used to get backlash for saying that. People were like, "Well, it's not Karen's fault." It really doesn't matter what we think. It's the perspective of Peggy, what she thinks about it, right? And then she leaves, right? Instead of fighting it, she flights, which is understandable, right? We don't know what type of anxiety she was having. She did just witness this whole thing, John dying in front of her and all that. That's bad. And then she kind of probably has an idea at that point with the well text, because then at 11:54 a.m., she went and texted Higgins. So that's where I want to go next. So
Okay.
now Peggy turns around and says, all right, why'd you leave him there? She gets a little upset about that, Karen, and why are you coming at me? You know, he wanted, what are you talking about? He wanted to stay there. You know what I mean? Like he's the one that brought us there, right? I'm out of here. See you later. I've been through enough this morning. But then at 11:54 a.m., a couple hours later, she texted a guy named Brian Higgins, aka Kevin, from South Boston, and she texts him and says, John died. Do you have any reading about that? Did you ever check into that? I know you've been over so much. Did you ever check into that text?
I think that Karen, and let me back up just a second.
Go ahead.
The reason that, and I agree that with Peg, because I have a son, and at first I would have said, why was he going in there by himself? Why? So I get that mindset. Wasn't really quite sure what you meant, but now I understand. So I get that mindset, and at the same time, I would also want to know the facts. I wouldn't just stop there. But I think the issue was, okay, so it must have been her. Everybody is saying that it was her. It must have been her. Why would these other people lie? Why would they lie? Why would they? And even though that she's heard the truth, and even in the courtroom, she can't face the truth. She can't face the truth. And it,
Can I stop you right there?
yes,
One
yes.
second, because and this is the perfect place to stop you, right? And I'm a paralleling it to the Eddie O'Brien case, real quick.
Okay. Yes.
Peggy can't handle the truth, right? That Karen didn't do it. Then there's a woman named Trisha and a man named Eddie Sr. Are they in denial and can't handle the truth that Eddie did it? God damn, J.F.K. Holy shit.
God damn.
I'm just saying, like, because you're saying she's in denial with Karen, like, then, and I'm not saying Eddie did it, but,
I
that's, and the
understand.
only reason why I speak on that, you're in, you're broadcasting. You're off the
Sure.
grid. You're off the grid. In
Okay.
Massachusetts, a lot of people think Eddie O'Brien also did this. If you speak on Eddie O'Brien, that fucking kid did that shit. And then there's a lot of people who say he didn't do it. And usually 9 times out of 10, the people say who didn't do it is guys that was locked up with him somewhere down the line. But there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who just write that off that he did it. So do you think that could be a possibility that they're in denial that their son did such a crime
No.
based on your experience?
No.
Okay.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because you can see that Eddie's parents were open to whatever evidence, they were open to whatever, and plus they saw what Eddie was going through as far as all the testing, as far as all of that. But Peggy, the moment that happened, just literally shut down. It was over for her. And it was because there were so many people that ran over to John's house that morning, or I'm sorry, to Peggy's house, wherever, and basically said she did it, she did it. Because let's remember, Paul at first invited Karen and said, "Oh yeah, come on over," and then all of a sudden he heard the narrative and changed. He flipped like that, and oh no, I didn't want her over there. Let's not remember who Karen bailed out of jail when he had a little trouble with a little DUI. And yet they needed to put someone in there because they didn't have any other alternative other than Karen. She could not fathom that these people had an ulterior motive or an agenda or whatever you can say, that when John went in the house, something was happened. As far as Eddie's parents are concerned, there were many other people that could have been looked into that either weren't, or and Boozy Beauty is right. He looked like he went 15 rounds with Mike Tyson. How does that happen? Doesn't matter. These people, why would they do that? There's a cop house. Why would that happen? It doesn't
Right.
matter about the investigation. It doesn't matter. She
It
did it.
draws
She
so
did
many.
it.
It draws so many parallels with the Eddie O'Brien case, because then you talk about the Eddie O'Brien, like you just said with Trisha. They weren't saying, okay, they like you said off the rip, they weren't. It's not that, obviously they knew deep down their son didn't do it, and they had their son's back, but they were saying, well, there's so many other options though. There's a guy with a key. There's DNA underneath the fingernail. And they didn't investigate. It's like the same situation, like how does
Mhm,
that happen?
mhm.
Right. So it's like the
Right.
parallels are the same. You got Riley, who was a Middlesex County DA that was in it for the political, you know, power. And then you have Morrissey, same situation. And then, and this is a tale of, if Karen Reed would got convicted, it might have took Karen Reed 30 years to finally have a platform um to because the process takes so much time. People don't understand that.
Right.
Um so, the problem with Eddie is he's been buried for so long, so to speak, in the jail system that people just wrote him off. He's been in jail for 30 years. Why care? You know? Um, but to go back to Peggy, do you think if Peggy came out tomorrow on your platform, my platform, and said, "Hey, my name's Peggy O'Keefe and I got questions," do you think that will change the landscape of things?
It depends on the answers. I mean, that's a vague question. I mean, that's a vague answer, pardon me, but it depends. I mean, she has to have questions, but here's what I think. She's a very unhappy woman. Listen to her testimony when she got up and AJ said, "How long have you been married?" or whomever, and she said too long. Something to that. Why would that you just answer the question, ma'am. Don't interject that disappointment and unhappiness. And I'll tell you why. I believe she's been so unhappy for so long. And remember, her husband, Mr. O'Keefe, liked Karen. They used to go to church together. That does something to a woman. That does something to a woman when your husband is going out and you're mingling. Doesn't matter if you're going to church. How can you like her? How can you do that? Because I think she was just unhappy to begin with, period. I believe there was trouble in paradise. And this was an opportunity for, it could be, I'm not saying it was an intentional. It could be an opportunity for Peg subconsciously to say, okay, this is my chance. I want her away from this family. I want her away. I don't want her around. If she comes around, she wants to talk with my husband. She's going to have to do it through, I think there's just a lot of bitterness there with Mrs. O'Keefe. And that's very sad. But I believe there was just a lot of bitterness to begin with, even before John met his demise. So when that happened, I believe it was just an unconscious, quick decision. Doesn't matter what you tell me he's done. Doesn't matter. She's done. He's gone. I'm over it.
Do you think it had anything to do with? Did you think it had anything to do with her daughter passing away in 2014? Did you get any readings about that? Like any vibes on that?
I think it had a lot to do because, again, when you look at the testimony and you see basically how she just treated Paul. I mean, oh yeah, that's my son. He's over there. It certainly didn't show that Paul had. It's almost as though Paul is doing everything that he can to get the attention of his mother and to make certain
Well,
that he pleases her.
He got her attention when he started talking to that girl, throwing hand signals up and all that.
I'm telling you.
You heard about that, right? You heard about that.
Oh, sure. Sickening.
What do you feel about that, though? You think she should have been outed? You think that, like, do you think that Peggy O'Keefe and Paul O'Keefe, like, what's your take on that being part of this? Do you think it's okay for people to call Peggy a "see you next Tuesday" and blast Paul about his what he was doing at trial? I mean, it's messed up what he was doing, but do you think it was okay to do that, or are you against it, or you don't care?
Oh, I care. I don't like messiness like that. And sometimes bringing out, I don't care who it is, sometimes bringing out people's personal things. I understand why that happened. I don't believe in calling Miss Peggy a "see you next Tuesday." I don't like that word to begin with. I think that was very harsh. I think that that just makes matters worse. I just think so. I think that it just made matters worse. It didn't soften her. It put up the wall for the ability of anybody going to her and saying, "Okay, Peggy, let's sit down and let's go over the facts. What has happened?" And then, I mean, they're suffering for the loss of John. I mean, I don't care who it is. It is her son, his brother, and then you have all of this personal, all of these things. And sometimes, and no excuses, but sometimes in these situations, people reach out to others not for the ability to get together with them, but it's the idea that they want to be a hero to somebody. They want to feel like they are needed, wanted. And I think Peggy just treated Paul as though, and plus I think there's something psychological that goes along with it, because maybe she had to train herself perhaps not to care as much, because she'd already lost 2 children and a son-in-law, and now Paul is left, and he's bringing up, he's bringing up the rear, and now he's headed, these lawsuits and all this other stuff. I think a lot of this, even though he feels that way, I think a lot of it is done to perhaps impress Peggy and say, look, I'm a part of this family. I will chime in. I'll do what I need to do. I'm going to be, I'm going to be here. I've got to prove myself to you, Mom. I need your attention. And it does not need to be negative attention. I just need to know that I'm the last man standing. And I think that that's a
makes
lot
a lot
of
of sense. Makes a lot of sense. For sure.
So, yeah, it's a tough situation. There's a lot of dynamic, but who I feel is suffering the most and who I feel the most for are those kids. It's their.
Oh, but do you feel any pain for them? Like, how does that go? Like, so when you're like in your day to day, right, and the ability that you have, do you have to flip the cards to feel anything? Like, I don't know how that works. Like, do you have to go
No,
to the cards, or do you just feel it? Like, does one day something hit you and you say, them kids are feeling pain, or JFK is going through something, or Kev needs to calm down? Like, did sometimes things just hit you?
calm down, Kevy Kev.
Yeah, Kev needs to calm all the way
Yeah,
down.
look at
all the
him.
time.
Calm down, Kevy Kev. Look, calm down. He's getting out of hand here. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm just joking. I have to flip the switch because I've got so many that are like knocking on my door and tapping me on the shoulder. I mean, I've got Charlie Kirk, I've got John, I've
Wow.
got a lot of, and it's like sometimes they just appear and I have to just say, no, not today. I have to flip the switch and say no. But anytime during the trial, anytime during when anybody was saying anything to anyone and the kids came up and their testimonies, I just felt awful for them. I mean, and especially for I think to a certain degree they were close to Karen. She did her best with them. And I mean, she was kind to them. Why not? Right? Why not be kind to them? And I just feel that they're suffering, and down the road and being a part of lawsuits, being a part of testifying, what are you going to do to the O'Keefe family? Say no? They're kids. What can you say? I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. But that is the part that is so heartbreaking. And I wonder, does Peggy see that? I mean, I think she does to a certain degree, but they're so, pardon a professional French, hell-bent on making Karen pay. We want to make somebody pay. Is it because you
it's
don't
both
have anyone
sides too,
else?
right?
Right.
I feel like it's both sides. Like, well, as far as, I mean, it's all the same side, but I mean, you got the O'Keefes and then you got Jen McCabe and everybody. Like, there's this hatred.
Oh,
Because if
yeah.
you really think about it, I always tell Kev this. The morning that this happened right here, our friend Kerry, right?
She's a
She said,
talker.
yeah, she's a talker. She's definitely a talker.
Yes.
She said
Because I was
this.
having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him out of my car.
She was getting baby blankets. The crazy part about it, Kerry is innocent as far as that morning goes, right? Because legit, she didn't know what was going on, right? She just showed up and she got manipulated by Jen, manipulated both of them. She manipulated Kerry and she manipulated Karen, because not only did she say she was
Because I
getting
was
the
having
blankets,
Jen get the baby blankets to wrap around him.
you got Jen who was saying the same thing. She was saying,
The fixer.
yeah, she was saying this. She was saying,
conversation you have with her about
this right here.
What's going on?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow. 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the.
So she said the
The
guy
man.
passed out in the snow. Well, first she said the guy.
Yeah.
Then she said the man. She said twice. And then she's telling Kerry this right here. She's telling Kerry this.
I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Kerry.
You don't see blankets, Kerry. Well, Kerry, Jen don't see blankets, but right in front of her is a whole house that she could go in. And I'll let my man Kevy Kev take the wheel on that. Go ahead, Kevy Kev. Grab the mic and rock that shit.
Yeah, she could have went in. She could have, number one, grabbed the first responder, which was her brother-in-law. She could have got warm blankets, anything off, a couch on that living room. She could have got help.
Period.
The other thing
so-
too is
Sorry, go ahead.
that we just didn't understand was, for Jen to show up at her sister's house and find somebody, as they found John, why wouldn't she think anything could have happened to her family inside the house? Why didn't
Exactly.
she personally want to check on her sister or her sister's kids? I mean, she's an aunt, not only a sister. It's just, it was mind-boggling that, this natural instinct that we all have never came out.
Exactly. She should have thought something. Because the first thing, what's the wife's name? Big Bad Brian.
Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. The first thing Nicole said was when she ran in the house, the first thing she thought something was wrong with her kids. But yet when Jen rolled up, she sees a dead dude on the lawn. It's a cop. Her brother-in-law's a cop. She's not thinking if anything happened to Jen or her kids. I mean, excuse me, to Nicole or her kids. But she's helping Kerry get the baby blankets. So she's manipulating Kerry. So Kerry's getting little baby blankets that go up to the arm when she could have went in there like Kevy Kev said and got whatever they needed to help this guy. Especially Big Bad Brian A knows what to do in that situation better than any of them. But here's the point. Another point. Jen was happy that Kerry was talking shit about Karen. If Jen was innocent and Jen did nothing wrong, right? And at that point, she didn't know what happened to Karen that morning. She didn't know if Karen hit him or it was by accident or was a freak accident, because it could have been, right? She could have been drunk, hit him. I don't know, some fluke shit happened. She didn't know at that point, right? Allegedly, right? But yet she was okay with Kerry talking to the police, talking hellish shit about Karen. But you don't even know this girl. You just met Kerry that morning. You don't even know her. So you have no idea who this broad is, pardon my French. You don't know her, but yet you don't care that she's talking shit about Karen when you have somewhat of a relationship with Karen. So it goes to show you how much she wanted to manipulate the situation, to your point, Lady Zelda, and control the situation like she's been doing for the last 4 years almost. So it's wild to think, for sure. So when you get readings about Karen and you feel things about Karen, like the empathy that goes through you, like, how do you think Karen's feeling? Is Karen lost? Is she going to be okay? Do you see negative things, great things? What do you see? Do you see anything?
It's going to be a fight for Karen for quite some time. And I think that something is going to happen that, because I think, oh my heck, can these suits go another 10 years? These civil suits, can they be another 10 years? That's number one. What about her parents? But I don't believe they're going to let her go, not for a while, because once this cell phone thing's resolved, they're going to try something else. They want her, because look at the repercussions. Look at this office. Look at everything that has come from, it has just trickled downhill from everything that has happened. But I got 3 things to say about that morning, about the morning of January 29th. First of all, I always said that there was something, before it even came out, that there was something about Jennifer knew and tipped them off. And I believe that 504 call in the morning was, hey, we're coming over. Uh, execute the plan. Goodbye. I think that was number one. Number two, if you look at that footage of that morning after the ambulance pulls off and everything, and you see Jennifer trudging through the front yard, she looks back, and I swear, you guys can look, maybe I'm wrong, but I swear that front door opens right when just a little bit for Jen when she gets to the front door to go into the house. Another thing is she said that she went up into the bedroom. I don't know about you, but Chloe sounded like she was a bad mama jama. Would I be walking in that house at night with this dog? When I was little, I was attacked by a German Shepherd, and it was a trooper. It was Ohio State Trooper's dog. Would you do that? I wouldn't care. Not only heck no, but no. But there's one important thing, and I think a lot of ladies here in the chat agrees with me. In my opinion, I believe that Jen had the hots for John. I believe she wanted to have him for herself. I believe that she loved it that he went to her and asked her advice about the kids, advice about Karen, advice about this, advice about that. And when Karen came along, it was like, oh no, she's taken my place. Oh no, no, we're not having this.
When I met Karen, she's a pretty lady. She got a look. She got something about her when you meet her in person. You're like, like when you see her on. I'm not saying that she's not pretty or nothing like that. Of course she is. I think she's beautiful, but I think she's a pretty lady. But when you see her and you're right next to her, she's got like a vibe to her. So
definitely,
she's just like confident. I don't, she's a professional woman. She got like same with Alan Jackson as a guy. Like when I met Alan, he's got something to him. Like some people got it, some people don't. They have some type of factor to him. I can't really put it into words, but like if Jen was not confident with herself, for whatever reason, then she probably would be hating on Karen for sure. And especially Karen had the Lexus, the LX 570. She was a banker. She had her own house. She got no kids. A lot of ladies, a lot of women, they want families and all that, but they also would love to be free though too, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? We all would. We all would. But
I'll tell you about Karen. I'll tell you about Karen, why Karen has the vibes she does. Karen is a February Pisces. A February Pisces is wicked empathic.
My brother is a Pisces. He was born February 28th.
And I'm a Pisces, but I'm a March Pisces. Yeah, she's February Pisces.
My brother, right? Just to your point, my brother, I could say to my brother, in 1997, what day did my birthday fall in 1997? And my brother could sit there for about 5 minutes and be like, and figure that out. I don't know how he does it, but he could do shit like that. Like, dude's on another level with intelligence, but he's straight cooked up. As soon as you get in an argument with him, he's taking your inventory. He's going to say, listen, he'll try to throw a left at you, but nowadays he's going to diagnose you. It's like, calm down, bro. I don't want to go to the shrink. Leave me alone. God damn. Son. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. No, it's fine. Sorry, the hat's giving me a headache. So that's what I always said, that Karen has this wicked, now I got hat hair. Thanks. No. So anyway, Karen has this empathic, give me 5. She has this empathic gut instinct. And I've always said that throughout my readings. It always felt like Karen was about a half to 1 step ahead of these group. The McAlberts, now they're the McDefendants from the McHouse. She's always been able to navigate this path. And I just love that, because that shows that she's paying attention. And the other thing too that Peg never really realized, because she doesn't want to, I really believe that she doesn't want to, is that Karen knows all this evidence, everything, backwards, forwards, front, side, about all the evidence about John, all of the McAlberts, all about the O'Keefes, all about everything that is around there. And I mean, that to me, I think there was some jealousy there. I mean, think about it. Karen was very credentialed. She made her money. She had her life. She had her house. And that was one of the things that I think when another woman looks at the accomplishments that another, when you're single, not every woman, but when you're single and a married woman looks at a single woman who is having, my gosh, how did she be so accomplished? She was wicked smart instead of being a wicked pisser like Jen, right? I had to say that. But she knew how to handle herself, seriously, how to handle herself. And I believe that's why John was attracted to her. And now, I mean, who stands at the window and pulls the curtain back looking for this guy? Who does that? Who does that? Jen texting John. I believe that was kind of a, cover your tracks type thing. Oh, well, we didn't know John came in the house, so we're going to text John's phone. So there were a lot of things. I mean, they were smart, but not smart enough. And I think that's what's happening. And I do believe that Jennifer is very upset. And she is very upset, and she's starting to get worried. I do believe she's been questioned again.
What do you feel about this guy when you hear this guy's voice?
Hey, man, what's up, guys? Kevin from South Boston.
What's up, Kevin from Southie? What's happening?
Listen, I appreciate the things that you two do, you and James, right? But let me ask you something. Those two dudes that you're accusing, right? They're decorated dudes. What
do you feel about that guy, Kevin from South Boston, a.k.a. ATF agent, Brian Higgins? Do you feel anything about him? Does he care? Is he a killer?
Higgy baby. There's a lot that I kind of know about Higgy baby. First of all, let's think about his training for just a second. ATF agents especially are trained in how to deal with aggressive dogs. Think about it. When they go out on different types of cases, raids, whatever, what do people have? Aggressive dogs. They're taught how to handle that. I believe, and what I saw from what John showed me, in my opinion, he tried to get Chloe off of John for a moment, but then I believe Chloe turned on him, and he ran away, backed off. Now, I also believe that Higgy baby is a throwaway, just like Proctor. Look at Proctor. He's a throwaway. Higgy baby is a throwaway, because Higgy baby is not a part of the McAlberts, the McHouse defendants, even though he's been mentioned in that whole thing. If they have to come together collectively, they will come together and they will toss. If it comes down to them or Higgy baby, or watch them sing like a bunch of caged birds. Well, you know what? I didn't really want to say anything, but we saw Higgy baby, and he did this because he was all charged up. Now I want to ask something. That day, the 28th of January, when they were supposed to have gone to New York for another fallen police officer's funeral, did they really go, or were they out drinking? And if they were, out and they were driving back, I could literally feel and see that Brian McAlbert, in my opinion, was juicing Higgins up. Oh, I wonder if John's better than you. I know you like her. I know you text her, but hey, she's with John now. What do you think you're going to do? And all of this little talk and the drinking amounted to, by the time they got to the waterfall, that was excellent what you did on the waterfall. All that peacocking, all that, grabby hiney stuff and all that peacocking and him looking at Karen to see if he got her approval. That's because he had been primed and juiced up. Why do we think that Jennifer asked for Karen to ride with her? See, that's where Karen's instinct came in. Nope, I'll drive
Why
myself.
is that?
I'd drive myself. Because she knew something was up and she did not, because she saw what was going on. Karen saw.
Okay, so if Karen saw what was going on, so you think Karen at the waterfall knew what was going on?
I think Karen surmised something. And I think that she felt that they were trying to call
So on February,
John out.
So on February 3rd, when she gets arraigned, why doesn't she ever say anything about that?
Why would she? Nobody believed her to begin with, and that would
I'm
just
saying
open
at that point, February 3rd of
right?
2022, 3 days later, why not?
Because I think, first of all, she was listening to David, her
Yeah, but
attorney.
hold on. This is before she even knew David. She had just made a
Oh,
phone
when
call
she was
to him.
okay, gotcha.
When she was arraigned and she's in the holding cells. I mean, maybe she did. I don't know if she did tell David this, and David was like, listen, that's a trial issue, because that's very possible. And I did speak on that. Usually when you come at your lawyers and downstairs cuffed and stuffed, or in that case upstairs, well, no, she was in Dedham. I think it was downstairs. But the point is, they usually say, listen, I can't bring that all up right now. So I'm just going to try to get you out of here on bail. So let's just, where'd you go to school? Can you get money? Do you got a criminal record? Just the bullshit, just the stuff like that. But then, a couple days later, or even when she had time to go on Nightline and things like that, she never mentioned the waterfall. She never mentioned the waterfall, period. She never said, look at the waterfall video. And that's always been my thing. That she never said, hey, look at the waterfall video. You see Higgins acting like a fool. He texts him, you come in here. He texts me, I'm well. He texts him, you come in here. And then I text him at 11:54 a.m. saying John died. Now, let me go to that text for a second. Why didn't she text him John's dead? Why'd she text him John died, as if she was already talking to Higgins? Doesn't it kind of sound like that? There was a conversation that was already going on, or as if she was sussing the situation out. John died. Did you know? After that bullshit you pulled, Brian Higgins, John died? No, it's John's dead. Can you help me? John's dead. Can you come see me? Because he did tell her he had a spot in Canton PD. He's the man out there. She said John died in past tense. Did you ever get a reading on that?
Truthfully, I believe the reason she said it was past tense, as in John died, she wanted to see how he answered, and he didn't. And sometimes no answer is your answer. How involved? How much did he know? He was hanging around with them. He was hanging around with what happened in that house. And she felt that she personally knew Higgy Baby well enough, because she sure couldn't text Jen. She sure couldn't text anybody else. But she knew that Higgy was
Ladies,
not a part of that.
Real quick. Special K. Leave this up to the professionals. It definitely wasn't John's dead. It was John died. Trust and believe that. Trust us. Trust us. You can send a Venmo for $750, and we will investigate. If she said John's dead, we will get a little deep and investigate your grievances. Other than that, trust us. Peace and love, Special K. No, it was John died for sure. Sorry.
Yeah. I believe that this was Karen. I believe that this was Karen thinking, what does Higgy baby know? What does he know? I want to know what happened. What happened? Because think about this. What if Higgy would have answered her and said, I know? Then it would have been, oh, how the heck do you know? Oh, what happened? Who told you? Where were you when he went in the house? Where all this? And Higgy was thinking that
That's
he
a good
was
point.
Higgy was thinking he was smart enough at the time to say nothing. Say nothing. Plausible deniability. Say nothing. Say nothing. Because he knew he probably knew that Karen was fishing.
The
Most
shit I
likely.
know about Brian Higgins, there's some shit I know about Higgins that nobody knows. Right? Right,
What
Kebby Kev
about how he
781?
told about how
No,
he told
I know his
somebody?
girl. I know his
Okay.
ex-girlfriend that
Okay.
got with him March of 2022.
Oh yeah.
And let's just say the stuff that I know, I mean, I shared it, some of it on the show. And to
Mhm.
the point where I didn't want to like go in on him like that. I kind of I don't want to say I feel bad for Higgins because I don't usually feel bad for people. Um, but I don't want no smoke with the guy either.
Right.
He's
Right.
still an ATF agent, and people
That's
come to
right.
me come to me with information. But I met his boy Seaside, and Seaside's a Cambridge kid that knows him very well, and that's the reason why he called in. He called in because of the reenactment video, which was a year ago. Today's December 13th. It happened December 11th of 2024 when he actually called in,
Wow.
which is crazy. And James went through the video yesterday on his live stream. And when you see how it built up, we talked about Seaside. We talked about because we actually went to the Galleria Mall that's in Cambridge, where Brian Higgins grew up, where he was a lieutenant for the arson squad as a firefighter there. And so we met some of his people there inside the mall. We were walking through the mall. We were looking for the Christmas spirit. They took the Santa out the mall, but they left the Santa like where Santa would sit. They set it up, but there was no Santa Claus. So I'm like, yo, where's Santa at? Is he coming back? Like, are we late? And they're like, nah, there's no Santa, but yet there's a Santa thing. And this mall is a 3-story mall, and it's classified as a dead mall now. So it kind of gets spooky. You know what I mean? Like little kitties walking through the mall and shit, right? Like just weird shit start. It's weird. So as we're walking through this mall, we noticed that people are looking at us funny, and we're like, why are these group of people looking at us? So it's either two things: they're either looking at us because they think they know us, or they got an issue. So we confronted them. Why are you looking at us? They said, hey, we watch your show. I said, oh, really? But before we go any further, which side are you on? They said, oh, we're on your side. I said, okay. And they go, we like the waterfall stuff you've been doing. I go, yeah, well, that's funny because we just came from the waterfall and did a reenactment video in there. And we're going to be playing it. It's crazy. It's real small in there. It's without a shadow of a doubt, because when the original waterfall video with the bug eye lens that made everything look wide, the surveillance lens, so to speak,
Mhm. Mhm.
that gave you reasonable doubt. But our waterfall video reenactment was without a shadow of a doubt that he was this close. Hey, John, you coming? He didn't have to be like, John, you coming? You coming? You coming? Hey, you coming here? What up? Jingle bells, you coming? He didn't have to say all that. All he had to say was, John, you coming? That's it. That's how close it was. You could
Mhm.
whisper and he could hear you. So we proved that point without a shadow of a doubt. So when we ran into Seaside was like, yeah, I grew up with Higgins. I just talked to him 2 days ago. So when we did the live, we played the reenactment video, and then we played us looking for Santa Claus in the mall. So now Higgins is sitting home watching us. He's probably watching us right now. Everybody wave hi to Brian Higgins. Hey, Brian. What's up?
Hey,
What's up,
Higgy
bud?
baby.
Hey,
Hey,
Higgy.
Higgy baby.
Hey. And when we mentioned Seaside and he's seen us in the Galleria, everything checked out, right? Like he's like, these guys are on to me. And and you know who I'm talking about, Mark with an S, with 2 S's in his last name. Kevin from South Boston, and that's not by mistake. Seaside, are you out there, man? Jump in the chat. Let him know. Pretty soon, Seaside is going to be able to talk. And when he talks, he's going to blow your mind. And you guys are going to know why Seaside's so important. But anyway, and then he called and he broke. And it's funny because when we was going over the video, I was talking to a woman and someone kept clicking in. Boop, 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 boop. on the call, and it was restricted, and I wasn't answering it. I was just canceling it. And finally, I was like, "The hell with it! I'm going to answer it." And guess who it was? Kevin from South Boston. But you know who plays a big part in this that no one. Well, let me just stay there for 1 second. So that morning, okay, you had Big Bad Brian A. You had Matty M on the backup, Jen McCabe, right? Julie Albert, Nicole, all sitting in the kitchen, right? Having a powwow in the morning after John gets taken out and they leave the crime scene. You mean to tell me that now keep in mind at that particular time, there's 42 pieces of tail light. If this happened outside, there's a hat outside and there's a sneaker right outside, right? So you mean to tell me that Brian Higgins, right, and Big Bad Brian A didn't go outside to check the area of where one of their comrades died? And if they right at their house, like, how did this happen? If they didn't do it, like if it just was some freaky shit, they wouldn't have went out there
Right.
as police to investigate. And if they would have found 42 pieces of tail light, right, Kevy Kev?
Yep.
They would have found the hat and they would have found the
Heavens,
sneaker.
yes. Heavens,
Right?
yes.
So they never did that, did they? But there's one person, and I'm going to pass the mic back and forth to Kevy Kev, that's a sleeper in all this, that's guilty as sin, that everybody got to understand when they come knocking on the door, she's going to be right there in the mix, cuffed and stuffed with them all. And she goes by the name of Julie Albert. You don't talk the donuts, 6 donuts. What type of donuts do you like? Do you know that fuckery donuts is named after Julie? This whole establishment, this whole franchise is built up. She was in the parking lot with the wipers on, right, Kevy Kev?
That's right.
Because at 4:55 a.m., right? So keep in mind, what happens is Jen McCabe gets a phone call from John O'Keefe's niece, right? And says, here's Karen. Karen gets on the phone. Jen, I don't know where John is. Da-da-da-da-da. The first thing Jen says is, let me hang up with you. Right? Matter of fact, Jen, you could tell him, Jen, because I could just, Jen, I'm on point, man. I could pull you up. I got magic on here. I might not be able to tell the future and all that shit, but I'm pretty slick. You know what I mean? I'm an Aries. I'm not a Pisces, man. I'm full of fire, Jen. You're fucking up, Jen. Oh, yeah. Goddamn, Jen, I'm all over you. But let me talk. Let's see what Jen said in the in trial. What the first thing she initially said.
I've got
said,
a question for you, gentlemen, about the waterfall.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
When these guys, and you saw Higgy asking John, "Come on, are you coming?" and Brian is, they're kind of, doing this, pulling each other and everything else. You see a band member walking by, and you see that he notices that there's some stuff going on, and he turns his back to go past them. Yep. Where is he?
Well, we never talked to him because we don't want to get arrested for intimidating a witness, because you just don't even want to talk to this guy, because who knows where he stands, what side he's on. And someone like me with a criminal record that I have, I definitely don't want to get indicted out of Norfolk County. So I just left that guy alone. But yeah, I found out who he was, and he's he goes there a lot. He knows who he is. But but keep in mind, you really don't need him, because if you really break it down the way we break it down, Chris Albert's a pizza man. He flips pizzas, and he manhandled an ATF agent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what's a pizza man doing manhandle an ATF agent? But Jen, that morning when Karen Reed called her, this is what she said.
What, if any, conversation do you have with her then?
This is what she said.
Proceeds to scream my name multiple times, that John didn't come home. She left him at the waterfall. Just woken up. What are you talking about? And then she, told me that they had gotten into a fight and she left him there. I remembered that Chris Albert had still been at the bar. Maybe John walked home with Chris, because Chris lives close to the waterfall. I told her that I was going to call Julie and see if John had ended up with Chris.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that she's seen her out in front of the house. She texted her a million times. She talked to John on the phone for over a minute. She called John. John just texted her. All John did was text her, what's the address? He's a cop. Let me show you how it works. Control to 7.
Go ahead.
Can you go down to 34 Fairview? There's a fight going on.
Yep, no problem. 5 minutes out.
That's it. It doesn't take much muscle memory for John O'Keefe to get an address just to get there. But all of a sudden, he gets a phone call from Jen McCabe. Jen McCabe was in the mix of that whole fucking waterfall thing. She's right there on camera, walking back and forth to shovel, looking all crazy and shit. Like, oh man, because John O'Keefe had his back at the bar, and she's seeing them, and she's hearing what they're saying, and she's like, oh shit, this is about to hit the fan, right? And she knows it, right? So she called him. Whatever she said, she could have said, don't come here. She could have said, come here. We don't know. But then John hangs up with her. He's still in the car. Then he calls her back, and then he talks to her again. Matty M on the backup said he was listening to it on speaker because he was driving and Jen was in the passenger seat. But the point is that, or it might have been the other way around. No, I think Jen was driving that time. No, I think he was driving. Jen was in the passenger seat, right? I forget. But the point is, he said he heard it, and he said it was for directions. Now, I've been to the waterfall. I've been at 34 Fairview. It's a 5-minute ride. It's like straight, a left, and a right. It's really not rocket science how to get there. You're talking about an experienced cop, and he put it in his Navi. So why would he need to call for directions? It just seems like she was directing him what to do. So she even texted him, pull behind me, and all these different things. But yet she says, when Karen called me and she didn't know what happened, she didn't remember anything. That's when she said, bingo, she don't remember anything. He said, let me hang up with you and let me call Julie. Now, here's the thing. The biggest mistake Karen Reed made that night wasn't leaving John at the house. The biggest mistake was picking up the phone call when Jen called her back. If she would have never picked up that phone call when she called her back, none of this shit would have happened. The plan wouldn't have been able to happen, because what happens is Julie's sitting in the parking lot. Windshield wipers are on. She's sitting there, right? Because she was all part of the plan. She was probably going to be the one to find John to begin with. So now Jen calls Julie and says, Julie, listen, at 4:55, Julie, you need to calm down. The plan's different, right? Karen's all fucked up. She don't even remember nothing. Just stand down, stay in the parking lot, take more of your clotipins and drink some of that coffee and calm all the way down, right? Let me call you back. Click. They claim they never talked. So now she calls the niece back, passes the phone to Karen, the niece. Karen gets on the phone, and then boom, next thing you know, she's picking her up. Kerry gets in the mix, and they're looking for John. The plan is on. But that next day at 9 a.m., right after John's out of there and everybody's gone, Julie goes to 34 Fairview. And when she goes to 34 Fairview, she's best friends with Jen McCabe. They're best friends.
Yeah.
Who was with her son Colin that night? Jen McCabe's daughter, Allie. Allie was with Colin. Allie drove Colin home, right? So they're in it together. Jen got to pull her weight, right? They're all related, right? So Julie goes to the house, and when she pulls up to the house, she says that she walked into the driveway, opens up a car that has snow on it that she knew that was open, and left 6 donuts and coffee because it was a ritual. Right. But the problem with that is, what's the problem with that, Kev?
Everybody was there.
The truck was right there.
Jen's truck was right there.
So you mean to tell me when she gets up, she notices a missed call from Jen McCabe, because she said that she never got the call. They never answered. She notices a missed call at 4:55 a.m. She rolls up to 34 Fairview on a weekend and notice the truck is there in a blizzard. It's about to start. What the fuck is Jen doing there this early? Right? So does she go in the house to check what's going on? No, she doesn't go in the house. Not at all. No. As she's walking away, because it's a ritual, she don't think nothing of it. She gets called. Big Bad Brian A goes, ooh, Julie. Oh, me? Yeah, come in here. We got to talk to you. When she walks in the house, who does she notice?
Jen.
Maddie M. Nicole. Brian Higgins, the whole crew. And they said, hey, did you hear what happened to John? And what's the first thing she said?
John who?
Yeah.
That's what she testified to. So
John
Julie is done. Julie, if you're watching your man JFK, I got you, Julie. Don't worry about you.
And that's why she's so distant right now. That's why she ain't in these interviews, because
That's
she
right.
fucked up. I'm part of my French, but she messed that. She kept. They didn't. Yeah, she was the one that fucked it all up.
Yep. Yep. You want to hear something interesting? I got to tell you something interesting. This off topic a little bit, but I want to bring it up. And that is when Yuri was testifying and Hank was asking him questions. And this is right after Yuri showed John's clothing in the evidence bag. All of a sudden, you see Yuri jump and look to his left, and in between the witness stand and the jury box or the jury area was the evidence bag that had John's clothing. Yuri jumped and said, oh, wait a minute, that bag just moved. That bag just made a noise. So talk about energy being around these people, and that's what will make these people trip, because nothing like this is ever perfect. The truth will always come out. Energy does not lie. Truth will always come out. It may be later, but it will always come out. And I'll never forget that, because I thought, oh yeah, Yuri's on the hook. I want to tell you, I really believe that John knew quite a bit more, and he made people nervous. But the unfortunate part is that they got to him for another reason. They got to him before he was able to say anything, do anything, be anywhere. And I believe that each one of these people that were involved had their own reasonings for being against John that night. Think about it. I don't think John really liked these people at all, but he was there at the waterfall. But it was there, he was just trying to be. But I'm also going to say that he had enough to drink. He knew that Brian Albert, Higgy Baby, was calling him out, and he wasn't going to back down. 10 feet tall, bulletproof. He was letting it, he wasn't going to back. He was going to see what that was all about. And I have always said, what would have happened if Karen would have went in that house? What would have happened?
I got a better one for you though. What would have happened if Higgy would have just left? If Higgy would have just left, they were there with couples. Everybody. Trisha was with Caitlin, right? Brian was with Nicole. Maddie was with Jen, right? Julie was with Chris. The woman Karina was with her husband, and then there's fucking Higgins. You should have read the room and just left. And if you would have left and he would have went over there, nothing would have happened.
That's right. I believe that wholeheartedly. I believe it wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you, I think, in my opinion, Brian Albert is all about that psychological, mystic manipulation that he knows that he can set people up. He has those directives and those ideas that he can set people up just by his thought process. And I believe that's how he got Higgy juiced up on the 28th before they got to the bar. Hey, I wonder if she thinks John is a better kisser than you. Hey, I wonder. And they're drinking enough to where that kind of thing makes somebody angry, because Karen was avoiding him, not answering him. And then by the time they got to the waterfall and he's doing all that, he was so I'm going to say out of his mind, that by the time that they got over there, the inevitable happened. John tells me that after he fell, after this ugly jumping that they did, they stood over him and laughed. Can you see that? I certainly can. They laughed until they realized how serious it was. And then it was that OSHA crap moment. What are we going to do? We got to deal with this. How we deal with it? If he survives, if he walks out of here, what if Karen comes back? What are we going to do? Could that be the reason why Jennifer was watching out the window that morning while she was watching Karen still sitting outside? Could he had already been jumped that quickly? I believe the moment that he walked in that house, it was just a matter of minutes, if not seconds, that he was jumped, and maybe they were watching. Well, what if Karen comes in? You be the lookout. What if she comes in? What are we going to do if she comes in? She's going to want to see John. What do we do? If John survives, he can testify against us. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, here's what we're going to do. You do this and you do this. And she could have backed up into him. Wait a minute. Doesn't Lucky come through here at about 3-something a.m.? When you go back to Dr. what was her name? La Posada, the one who talked or told us about the head injury, that when that head injury happened, it was just a matter of minutes before John would lose his life. They let him lay somewhere. And then it was maybe he rallied. Think about this. Maybe they just knocked him out. Maybe because he was drinking, maybe they just knocked him out. Maybe he hadn't been injured enough where, whatever. Maybe they had this and then, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, Jen makes that call at 5:04 in the morning and gives us a heads up. And maybe what if John rallied? Who made that collective decision to say, pardon me just a second.
That's all right.
Who made that collective decision to say, wait a minute, we got to take care of this. We got to take care of this. He can't testify against us. He'll ruin all of us. Who wants to go to prison? We got to protect each other. We make a pact right now. What do we do? Where are we going to go? We got to make a decision. And that's why they used Proctor. They knew Proctor was worthless as you know what on a boar. And they knew that, and they manipulated it, and they used him. He was a throwaway. The same thing as Higgy. He's a throwaway too. You watch. They'll toss him. They will toss him out. And they'll throw him to the curb. Watch. So
I agree.
There's somebody, and nobody's going to sing, because I believe also that they're protecting Colin. There's something there. He's a kid.
Generational. Yeah.
Generational. People say, oh, are there generational curses? Not biblically anymore. But if you watch parents and people, you learn. You learn by doing. You learn. And look at Colin. He probably looked at his dad, but then he looked at Uncle Brian. Uncle Brian was something that he wanted to be. Tough guy. I know we got to protect them. We got to protect them.
Let's stop right there for 1 second, right?
Okay.
I think we definitely. I'm happy we talked about Karen. We talked about the case. I love your insight, and we could go on about Karen. It's a beautiful thing, but I'm going to take you back to July 23rd of 1995.
Let's go.
There was a cat named Eddie O'Brien, a kid named Eddie O'Brien. I'm going to just start it off. I'm going to come in hot, Lady Zelda. Did Eddie O'Brien kill Janet Downing?
In my opinion, not only no, but hell no.
God damn.
And I don't, everybody here knows me. I don't say anything like that. Absolutely not.
Mm. What have you been
Absolutely
doing?
not.
What have you been doing? I heard you've been doing your due diligence into the case and you did some readings on it. What have you came up with and what can you tell us and tell this audience?
I don't know, I'm going to show you. All of this is about Eddie O'Brien. This is a forensic summary, and this is what I've done because I have worked in the past with law enforcement, some agencies, et cetera, et cetera. And what I do is I came up with what I call the Zeldan Codex forensic summaries. And numbers don't lie. And when I came into this arena and started watching you with Eddie, I thought, oh heck no. No. So I did a little forensic study. I did a video on it, but I did a little forensic study. And can you tell me the date when Eddie went up for his parole hearing? Can I ask that?
The date, I don't know the date. I know it was October of 2024 though. I could get the date for you though.
What happened in November of 2025 between the 9th and the
Now?
29th?
Of 2025 this year?
Yes.
Of last year.
This year.
It was, well, the date that he went up for the parole, thank you, Miss 808, was 10/24/24.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Thank you, Miss
Yes.
808. Miss 808,
Thank you.
god damn. You don't fuck around, huh? Holy shit.
She knows.
I mean, she
Well,
jumped right out. Can you tell
I
me?
bel-
Can you tell me what airplane just flew over my head? What flight number was?
Was it from Egypt? Okay. So when I did this was during a Mercury retrograde.
I could tell you what happened in November.
Okay, tell me. Tell me.
He was introduced to us.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
Okay. Because this is what I came up with. When I did this reading, Mercury was retrograde. And let me explain that. The planet Mercury is all about communication. And when all these planets, now I'm not an astrologer, that is an exact science. I'm not into that part of exact sciences.
Can I just stop
But-
you real quick? I'm sorry,
Yes.
Zelda.
Yes, sir.
Trisha O'Brien is in the chat. I don't know if you feel off that. I don't know if that's like something you feel, but Moms is in the chat, just to let you know.
Bless you. This is going to resonate.
Let's go.
This is going to resonate. Okay, thank you. And thank you so much for being here. When I did this forensic numerology study, because I do several things. I do cards, I do forensic things. I brought in Janet a little bit to this. When I did this study, Mercury retrograde, Mercury, bless her, Mercury retrograde means that every planet does a retrograde, but Mercury is very important because as the planets go around their orbit, when a planet is retrograde, it means that they slow down. It slows down to the point where it actually almost looks like it's going backwards. Now, Mercury is a planet for communication. That is about the time that I came in and was watching you guys. Now, I've seen you many, many times before because I'm always getting down to your music. But Mercury retrograde is when I came into your channel, and that's why I did this forensic study. Because when Mercury goes retrograde, I actually like Mercury retrograde because the truth comes out. Things go backwards. So what happens is communication is brought to the forefront. Things are revealed. Things are hidden things are brought to the forefront. So I did this, excuse me, sister, pardon me, kitty. When I did this, there were several things. And as I went down through Eddie's, and I made it on Eddie S. O'Brien, as I went through this, Eddie has a life path number of a number 11. Now, in numerology, double digits like 11, 22, 33, 44 are not reduced. You don't break those down any more than what they are. You leave them being. And what that means is that Eddie has a twin lantern gate. What does that mean? Truth through trial, endurance, renewal, story, testimony, expression. And he has, and I'm going to throw some terms out, it doesn't really make any difference, but he has a what's called a compound seal, which is Mercury frequency healing versus communication. Now, what does that mean? The fact that all of this is coming out now has resonance. It has meaning. It has a lot of things that is going on right now in Eddie's favor. The biggest thing is when I mapped his life path of number 11, it becomes the scale of return. What is that? The scales of justice. It foretells that restoration arises through rebellion. Well, is he rebelling? Well, sort of, kind of, maybe. I would be. I mean, he's handling things a lot better than I would, certainly. And I think better than all of us. But he is not through rebellion, but through re-equilibrium, facts, balance, stories reweighed, and truth found in proportion. So there's a lot of different things here. I won't read it all, but he's got a lot going for him at this particular time. And it's all about, let me see if I can turn this page here. It's all about symbology. It is all about his personal year cycles. When this happened in 1995, on July 23rd, let me see if I've got that correct. Yes, July 23rd of 1995, there was a Venus gate. The planets were aligned in a particular way that this became more public, and it was tried in the court of public opinion, which was horrific to begin with. He has scales of retribution, meaning he was going to have his day. He's definitely going to have his day. The interpretation of a master number of 11 for this, and this blew my mind, I did it 3 times. The way the numbers fall, it's a symbol of illumination, actually psychic intuition and truth revelation, to the point where the shadow side of the number 11 is a false accusation in trial. And this is why I am so confident in saying, not only did Eddie not do anything like this, he wasn't even around. He is a victim of convenience. And that's what this is all about. This is all about, for him right now, clearing karmic contracts through trust. And basically, he didn't have the karma. He has good karma. But now there's karma on the justice system. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not around any longer, but some still are. This is all about having gates of echoes. Gates of echoes, my darlings, and this means that a lot of this evidence, a lot of this information will continue to echo. It's like standing on a mountain and you throw your voice out and you hear it keep coming. And it's going to continue to keep coming until it is all complete. His birth year, which was 1980, resonates to a number 9. What you do is you add 1, 9, 8, and 0 together, and then it comes to 18. You can't take a double digit, so you have to add 1 plus 8, and that is 9. The year 9 adds a theme of humanitarian service, but sacrifice and especially closure. There will be a closure with Eddie coming very, very, very soon. And I believe because there are people now that are looking at this, and believe me, the timing is right, because we see what happened in the Karen Reed case. We see what happened in a lot of these other cases that are now being brought to light because of the ridiculousness and the incompetence of the police officers and the justice system there in that area and in Massachusetts. So as we go forward, and I'm just kind of hitting on this would really amaze you. Let me see. I have 19 pages of forensic study through numbers and numerology. And here's the thing. And that's why I said I've done this at least 3 times on him, because I kept thinking, wow, because the numbers don't lie. So now I'm cutting into the forensic signature and the timing window. So I take the birthday plus the event. He was age 15 years and 5 months when this happened. 15 sits at the mid-Mercury gate. What does that mean? It's a hinge between childhood obedience and the first assertion of an independent thought. In my chronology of this, the ages 14 through 16 mark a trial of voice, where an individual's personal vibration encounters external authority for the first time. He never had, but who does? Between 14 and 16, most likely, he had his family. He was close to his friends. And then all of a sudden, he was thrown into the system without not even knowing. I watched some of this trial footage, and you can see him. It's almost as like he's in disbelief. Is this really happening? How is this happening? What did I do? Why is this happening? And then as we go on, this tells of he has 3 voices in his personality. He has actually the voice where what he says is truth. He's a storyteller, not a fiction, but a fact. And he's been able to stick to the story from the beginning. And he is a creative messenger. He's able to share what had happened, when it happened, and where. So this whole thing, this whole hidden intersection that he has in numerology, it literally is a repetition of between his birth path, and it's a double 11. It's a rare configuration of a soul who lived to dispel illusion through light, but only after isolation and exile. So the reality is now he's going to shine, but it's going to be after this is over, after the reality sets in. So now, I don't know, do you want me to continue to go on there, JFK?
Yeah, do. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. So let me get here to another point. I got kitties crawling all over me. There's a hidden echo in his numbers, and it resonates with a victim, because even though Janet was a victim, so is Eddie. And that's what this shows here. I combine her numbers because Eddie and Janet are running in parallel. And guess what? They both come up with 11. A number 11 for both of them. So it's a hidden echo of Janet. Yet again, here is the lantern. What does a lantern do? It is all about shedding light on a particular situation. It suggests this purpose of tragedy as revelation and not punishment. Now we know that this has been punishment for Eddie, but that's what the numbers say. So this is all about truth and darkness, a silent witness, and there is a second sight, which I have always said, I do believe that there is someone else involved other than the person who did this to Janet. I believe that it is a female based on this forensic numerology that I've done. And the reality now is the rulership that comes through the planet. There's a triad at that particular time of Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter. That is considered to be the court of the air. It's a symbol of testimony. I know I've got chills sitting here reading this because it's like, wow, just wow. It is a court of the air, the symbol of testimony, record, and judgment eventually corrected by wisdom. So this is going to be looked at, and I believe whomever this goes, who is a decision maker that this goes in front of, can look at this and go, oh my God, what have we done to this young man? What happens now? What's going on? We've got to release it. We've got to look at the rest of this evidence. Why haven't we looked at this evidence? Why was it hidden? Because there's been evidence that has been hidden. And it's very clear that it has. I'm going to say for all of us, when we speak of Eddie, the colors that resonate with him from the color spectrum is indigo, which is like a bluish purple, silver, and green. So for all of you who are out there, when we talk about Eddie or we think about Eddie, let's think about, because his birthday is coming up, and let's think about those colors, indigo, silver, and green for him. So let me see here. I've got more. Now, this is very interesting because this covers a lot. Under this auditory resonance, which is a hertz range, in spiritual music, this comes up for Eddie, and it's 528 hertz, and it is known as a DNA frequency. The fact that DNA comes up, it's a symbol of cellular correction and a restoration of harmony. So there's a problem, obviously, with DNA. There's a problem, obviously. You can basically say, what DNA, right? But the bottom line is this. Based on his numerology, starting from his birth in 1980, going to the event in 1995, and a reflection of 2025 that's almost over, it's a 30-year echo. It's called a Mercury return. And the moment when the story told in the shadow seeks to be retold in the light. So this is all going to be brought to light. It's a matter of time. So bottom line is, let me see what I've got else here. There is.
Thank you, Kelsey. Free Kelsey. She says you're badass, Lady Zelda.
Thank you. I'll take that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
EPAG says, ask Zelda if she could read JFK's number.
I'll be glad to if you want to send me your birth number and all that other. I'll be glad. I can read your cards if you want me to. I've got my
Yeah.
cards tonight.
God damn.
How long does that take?
Oh, I don't know. As long as you want it to take maybe about 2 or
Oh.
3 minutes, I can pull a couple of cards.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to go around the room, get my man Brilliance and my guy
Well, let's
Kevin
do it.
Kev.
That
Let's
sounds like
do it.
fun. Let's do it. Have you ever had your cards read before?
I tell you the truth, man. I don't think I ever did.
Never.
I'm trying to think if I ever did. I know I think I went to a psychic before. I don't.
Went to a psychic, but never had my cards read.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I was at a house party and some girl was doing it or something. Maybe.
Well,
we was listening to Dre and shit.
Well, I
probably wasn't the best card read. I'm just trying to remember, man. God damn, Kevy Kev.
Well, I read the regular playing cards. It's called cartomancy.
Nice.
And the regular rank, you guys are, I love you guys. The regular playing cards is what the tarot cards came from. I learned from the playing card deck. So,
nice.
JFK, let's go with you first. I'm going to pull a card on everybody and just see what resonates for each and every one of you. And we'll just go for it. You know,
let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Can I ask what your sign is? You don't have to tell me your birthday, just your sign.
I'm an Aries.
Oh, you did say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did
I'm
say
an
that.
Aries.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of energy. The cards are jumping around. Let's see. Aries. I've known some Aries in my life.
Oh yeah, we're known to be shitbags. A lot of people don't like us.
I tell you what, I think it's wonderful. Okay, so here's a card. This is the Joker. I keep the Jokers in the deck.
Oh god damn.
God damn, you got the joke.
God damn, you're starting off to a rough start. What about the dog, Adi?
Hold on. It's not that bad. It's not. Look at me. You guys are so funny.
Oh,
God damn.
Now, I'm going to tell you what this Joker means, and you may not think it's so funny.
Let's do it.
This is a card in which I use both Jokers. You're not the Joker. This is a card that says, let me hold it kind of up there so you can all see. This is a card that means you reveal hidden things. The Jokers are hidden things. They are a revelation. You reveal hidden things. Pardon me. And I'm just going to say, when you bite, you don't let go. When you bite, you don't let go. And that's the energy that I think all of us should have, is that you're so passionate about things. But this Joker coming out first and foremost, yes, it's kind of funny, but it tells me that there's a lot to be revealed, and you know exactly what it's going to be. And believe me, you'll get to the bottom of it. You're getting to the bottom of it. Let's pull another one just to offset the Joker. How's that? Let's pull another one just to offset the Joker.
Nice.
And we'll go from there. This is a card. It's the Four of Hearts. It's a foundation card. Let me see if I can hold it up here for you. This is a card in which the past sometimes can hold bitterness and resentment, but it does not affect your future. You've learned how to deal with it. You've got a wait and see attitude, but you're not going to let things go or let things be down until you find a conclusion. This is a card that basically says, okay, we've done all that we can do at this point. We're just going to not wait, but we're going to wait it out, and we're going to wait it and see. So you take on the hurt of many people. That's what this card also means. And you see the four as a foundation. You build that safe foundation for others to come to, because guess what? There is no judgment. No judgment here. And that's what this is all about. So no judgment. And that's what makes you good at what you do, because you won't let go. You bring to the forefront the hidden things that people tend to hide. And that's what's so wonderful about you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I like that. I like that.
Kevy Kev, my darling, sitting there so quiet. You're next.
Kev.
Kevy Kev,
Kevy
what is
Kev.
your birth sign?
Aries.
Another Aries. I'm surrounded.
Yes.
Okay. Jason, if you tell me you're an Aries, I may have to get up for a minute. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Foundation card for Kevy. Look at this, another 4. That doesn't surprise me. Another foundation card. Let me see if I can get it to not look. So let me see here. Sometimes I want to hold it up correctly. Sometimes you have a real big problem with trusting others. Why? Well, because you are forthright. You believe in people doing what they say and then saying what they'll do and then doing what they say. You've been swindled in the past, maybe sometimes to the point where you feel like you won't recover, but as a miracle, you certainly do. It's been frustrating many times coming forward, but going forward, you having this 4 as well, know that there's so much for you in the future that you can put the past behind you. And I've got to tell you this, those people who have come against you and perhaps swindled you and used you and abused you in certain ways, when you look back, they have faced their own demise. They get it in the end. It may not be some way that you have manufactured or come out with, but they are dealt with, and many times you get to see it. So future looks good for you, my darling. You just keep on the right path.
Nice.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And Jason's hiding, so we'll wait on him for a second.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Jay's here.
Okay.
Jay's all
there
in.
we go. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're going to see about this.
Jay Bro.
Oh boy.
Jay just got on the channel too, and he's already getting his cosplays. Goddamn, Jay, man. Shit's moving
Well,
fast
you're
for
gonna-
you, bro.
You're going to see that I'm a positive reader because we all deal with so much negative in our lives. We need to know how to handle things. So here we go, Jason, for you. Here we go. Oh, look what you got. And you saw me shuffle. You saw me cut the cards, and you get the same card as Kevy Kev. All 3 of you, foundation cards. J.F.K. has the hearts because he's got a heart as big as Texas. And that's what his problem has been in the past, why he has been hurt. That's why he's trusted too many. But both Kevy Kev and Jason have this 4 of clubs, and it resonates the same. It's that sometimes an investment of time more than money, sometimes needing to look at things from both sides, and both of you are wonderful at that, being able to parse through the idea of, oh my gosh, maybe we need to look at another side of things. The fact that this is amazing. The fact that all 3 of you have 4s equals to 12. 12, when you break that down in numerology, is 1 plus 2 is 3. And look how many of you are on the screen with me right now are 3. And it's like the 3 amigos, the 3 musketeers, and 4 musketeers.
Dang, man, I got to see what James is, man.
Yeah, see what James is. Let's do, because I think it's the 4 musketeers why you guys are together.
For the record, I am a Leo.
What's that?
For the record, I am a Leo.
Are you a Leo? Good.
Yeah.
Strength beyond an infinite amount of strength. A character that many do not have. Hello, everybody. I see them all saying hi to me. So hello, my darlings. I'm so glad you're in here with me. So hello. Thank you. All right. So What do we who else are we reading for? James.
Uh-huh.
What sign is James? Do we know?
I think James was born in January.
Is he a Scorpio or
I think he might be
a
an
Capricorn?
Aquarius. Aquarius.
Aquarius? Okay.
Maybe. Is he? I'm trying to think, man. I should know this.
Okay.
I think he is, though.
Okay.
I could ask him. Let me ask him. No, I don't think he's a Capricorn. I don't think he's a Capricorn.
Okay. He's an Aquarian? Okay.
Yeah.
Aquarians aren't water, but all right, we'll look for an Aquarius. Here we are. I hope you're watching, James. Here's your card. If this turns up for a 4, it's a 3. This is a 3, which is so good for James. It is all about learning, education, and it's not university education. It's called life education. The unfortunate thing with James is through his life, he has been tested. And when he realizes that during the test, anytime that we have to pass anything, school, any type of job, sometimes we have to make a test in order to be able to move on. James had been tested. I'm going to say this last 2 years has been tough for him based on this card. This is a card, I love the 3 of diamonds because it's all about overcoming challenges. It's all about being able to work through things. But with James, it's communication. With James, this is like a time in which sometimes he's been heartbroken. But James is an overcomer. He's an overcomer. And this is so good that he can go forward with this. I just love this. So very good for him. It's all about the learning, life lessons. That's the education. It's life lessons. He's 2026 for all of you are going to be so great. Because we are in the last year of a cycle. Years go in cycles of 9. 2025, when you add all that up, is a 9. When we go to 2026, it starts over again at number 1. Number 1 is a rebirth. It's a brand new path. It's a new direction. And so look forward to 2026. I believe, though, December 28th or 29th, it's not going to be negative, but it's good. There's going to be a revelation come out, I believe, in our world on the 28th or close to it by the end of this month. And then in January, something will be happening. And then in February as well.
A negative thing or a positive
No,
thing?
I don't think it's going to be negative. It's going to be like oh my gosh, that explains it type thing. It's going to be a revelation is what it looks like. So there's a lot of planetary changes.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this. So you said that he had nothing to do with it. What do you see about Artie? And then you said there's a woman involved. Now, we broke down the case. I know you've been watching. The thing about a woman being involved, you're saying a woman was involved at the murder scene? She helped the killing of Janet Downing? Like she was involved in the murder?
She knows. Yeah, she knows.
She knows, or was she involved?
She was involved.
Can I ask you something about that?
Yes.
Could it have been someone gay who dresses like a girl?
Could have been because it resonates as a female.
God damn, Jay.
It resonates as a female. Let me tell you about the cat situation, and I want to make sure.
Yeah, what do you feel about the cat situation, and like what do you get off that like that? Because besides you being a psychic and all that, and knowing all these things, but just you talking just regular, and I mean that with all due respect, just being smart about court cases. Like, what do you get about the cat situation? What is going on with that?
Let me ask you: was there a 6-hour window? I was thinking that there something with Janet, and then 6 hours later he came back and got cats or kitties. Can you clear that up for me? What is there something 6 hours?
Oh yeah,
Well, it could have been.
could have
Well,
been.
he claims he changed the story. He said he said to us when he was on here, he said 4 hours later, I went in to get the kitty litter and the kittens, and what I seen, I wouldn't want anybody to see. Then we realized that that was impossible because it was a murder scene and the CPAC unit was still there till all the way the next day. Then he changed the story and said he showed up the next day and he didn't go in. Well, first he changed the story altogether and says
Okay.
he said he went in 3 or 4 hours later to get the kitty litter and the kittens, and then he said he lied about the kittens and he just went in to get the dog food, and he lied to us on purpose to see how we were, like it was a test. And then he went back to the cats and said, well, I actually did go in, but it wasn't that night. It was the next day, and I went in not to get the kitten and not to get the dog, but to get the kitty litter box. And then we said, well, what are you doing? Like, they let you in to get the kitty litter box? And he said, yeah, they let me in to get the kitty litter box. Then I said, well, did someone tell you to go in and get the kitty litter box? He said, no, I showed up to see how the investigation was going. But then then I said, well, what you do with the kitty litter box? And he said, I took it to where they were mourning. Like there was a get together or whatever. They
About
were
the
all
cab.
together.
Cab was number 42. 4 plus 2 is 6.
Yeah. What about the cab number 42? Did you run a reading on that?
I'm
Well,
going to
saying
tell you.
6. 4 plus 2 is 6. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Right. Hey, I'm turning you guys into numerologists. This makes me so happy. I love this. Okay. It is a total impossibility that there were any animals in that house. And I'll tell you why. Because my experience, and it could be different with the state of Mass, I don't know. But with my experience, anytime there is a crime scene that involves blood or anything else, immediately animal control would be called and they would remove the animals, because if an animal is exposed to anything like that, it can be very not nice. And animals are attracted to the scent because it's protein. They will be attracted to the scent of that blood. And sometimes, I don't mean to be gross, disclaimer, they will partake in that. And they will remove them immediately. Remove them immediately. Now, the other thing, and I'm sorry if I said something I shouldn't have.
Nope. You're doing great.
The other thing about the kitty litter. Kitty litter is used mainly to do two things: to absorb and to clean up, or it's used to deodorize. If there was any kitty litter that was present, which I don't know, I think there was just an idea. I want to go back in the house, and what is my excuse? And having kitty litter and saying, look, I need kitty litter because I can't go to the store because no store has any kitty litter that I can buy. So I've got to get back into that house and into the basement, which is a concealing type thing. Then it becomes an issue. Then it becomes, I need to get back into that house because I can't find another excuse that anyone will buy for me to come in there. So why would I get kitty litter if there weren't any cats? So I have to say that there are cats, so I can make an excuse to go in and maybe find something that I may have left behind or someone else. That's the only thing that I'm getting.
But I don't think they would even let him in.
I don't think that he went back in. I don't think that he went
Why
there.
would he say that?
Because he had to have an excuse as to why he saw Janet the way he did.
Bingo.
Well, there was kitty. There was cat hair on her too when she was found, feline hair.
Well, you know what? Anybody can have a cat She could have held a cat. The cat could have been outside. But unless animal control can verify that they came into the crime scene, because believe me, anytime you can ask any law enforcement anytime, unless like I said up there, but anytime there is any type of animal, four-legged animal, down to rabbits, down to reptiles, anytime there's a crime scene, immediately the owner cannot even go in and get them. Animal control removes them, and they're usually eliminated, because who knows if they got involved with a crime scene or not. And usually there's not time between the time that an incident happened versus the time that first responders
Yeah,
get.
he turned
You don't
around and
know what that. Yeah,
he
you
turned
don't
around and
know.
he said they took the dog out. That there was a dog in the house, Joshua. They took the dog out. He never mentioned the dog at first. And then he said they took the dog out, Joshua, and they took the cat out, but he just went in to get the kitty litter box the next day. So like he changed his story up. Like this is what he said. I mean, I play it a lot, but I'll play it again just so you can hear him
Okay.
if you feel anything. He
Okay.
said
I
this.
went in about 4 or 5 hours after to get the kitty litter box and the kitten. That was it. And what I seen, to this day, I don't wish anyone to see what I saw. I went in about 4 or 5 hours after to get the kitty litter box and the kitten. That was it. And what I seen, to this day, I don't wish anyone to see what I saw.
Wouldn't you think that someone would need to have a reason to understand? Or no, let me back up. Wouldn't you think that someone would need a reason to declare that they actually saw Janet? It would have been easier if he just would have said, "No, I didn't see her." Why did you see her? And it could have been a Freudian slip. It could have been, "Oh yeah, I saw her." "Oh, what? Why? Why?" "Oh, I must have had to go in and get animals or a kitty litter box, or I must have." I think it was a backing up and then moving forward again. That's what it feels like.
So you're saying that he said this? He said this because he's seen the body, or
Yeah.
like he needs to be in that house for whatever reason. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that he wasn't living there since March, and she told the neighbor Gina Mahoney that she was feeling threatened by this cat. No pun intended, by this guy,
Right.
Adi, and she was afraid of him. And she said there was a joke of they hung cat poo on a beam in the basement, and he corroborated that and said when he was living there that happened. But so like with me, what I took from that is you corroborated that she was definitely afraid and some weird things were happening. And then on top of that, I mean, the only thing you ain't corroborating is that she was afraid of you, but you're corroborating that weird event happened, which is a pretty spooky event. Like you were living in the house and someone hung kitty litter up on a beam in the house. You guys don't have a cat. And someone did that, and like you guys didn't get to the bottom of it. And especially being a man who lived there, and you were selling weed. We found out you were the weed man. This is 95. You're selling joints 3 for 10. You got your stash there, your money there, your weed there. Like you would want to get down to the bottom of it, because if they're moving around the house doing weird stuff, if they come across your shit, they're gonna take your shit. He's a cab driver, so everything's cash. They don't get checks back. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a debit card in 95. I can assure you that,
Right.
especially being a taxi driver.
Exactly. What I feel is, you see, psychologically, and I'm not a doctor, but psychologically, people who associate having that type of thing, hanging poopies, whatever, are people who are associated with fixing or containing a problem. And being in the basement is a low visibility space. It's retrieving a specific hanging bag that is familiar. The question is,
Tell him what the bag was made from, Kev.
Yeah,
Maybe she can
you know,
relieve me.
he kind of followed up when we were questioning about those incidences, and he said that it wasn't kitty litter in a bag; it was kitty litter in cheesecloth. It was wrapped in cheesecloth. That's what he said. Which, you know, I mean, the details only leads me to believe that he's the one that wrapped it up in cheesecloth.
The only thing that I can say about this is that this is such a behavioral thing that is really so disturbing. I mean, people do that are involved in darker things. It's almost as like he was preparing it to use for something else. And that's if it were true, then that is the conclusion that I come to, is if it were true that he had it hanging in there and he felt compelled to go in and get it, it wasn't because of kitties. It was because it was an intention of another use of this cat litter. Now, why would you wrap it in cheesecloth? Well, if it was real cat litter stinks. If you had it in a bag, it would remain stinking. But this is so gross. I'm sorry. But if you had it in cheesecloth, it would air out. And there has to be another reason that he was doing it, or that he had it. Or, I mean, was he involved with something else? Was he involved with even pranking someone with, oh, I don't like them. Let's go ahead and put cat poop on their porch. There are people that do that sort of thing, and it's just like bizarre. And I just think it's one of those bizarre things that he had to have an excuse and he felt so compelled. But do I believe that he went in and afterward, through a few hours, I'm sorry, there's absolutely no way that they will allowed him to go in and trample through a crime scene to get to the basement, to get his cheesecloth full of poopies and buzz off.
Well, that happened before the murder.
Okay.
But he did have to. He stated that he went into the kitchen, which he has to walk through the crime scene.
Yeah.
Into the kitchen to get a
kitty litter box.
Okay. So
but the cheesecloth incident happened before this.
I see. Okay. Which makes a lot of sense, because that meant that he was involved in something else that was just too bizarre to even perhaps think.
And it makes me believe that he's the one that had cats. I mean, where do you randomly get cat shit inside kitty litter but a kitty box?
Well, my darlings, if he had, look, I'm sitting here with cat hair on me right now. If I were to hug any of you or come close, you might get a little bit of cat hair on you.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the big thing about, if Janet didn't have cats.
Who did?
And say Adi did, I mean, this is transferable evidence,
Well, we know Gina had cats, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he never mentioned that.
That
The thing is with Artie, he never mentioned like now that he hears us talking about Gina with the cats, he never mentioned that. He that's not the first thing he said. He didn't say, "Hey, Gina had cats and she was there the whole day." Like, he wasn't hip to that, because that wasn't really a big inquiry. We kind of brought that to the light that Gina had cats.
Right.
So like now he heard that, he's gonna say, "Oh, she was over there all day. They got the cat here." That was before. You got to understand, in trial, it was a big area from Margot Nash herself. It was a big area of inquiry of how cat hair got on her, because the family testified they had no cats. Now we do know 7 hours she was hanging with Gina, so it's very possible she could have had a cat on her lap. Very possible, but it's just weird that
Yeah, but
Adi's talking about cats 30
Adi
years
was our
later.
first interview before Gina, and
That's what I'm saying.
He
That's what I'm
talked about
saying.
going in for a cat box.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like he never. I get what you're saying. That's my point. Now he heard about Gina, and you know him. He's gonna latch onto it and say, "Hey," you know. But he didn't know that at first. So, like me and to Kev's point is that it sounds like he was trying to get ahead of this cat here.
Trying to get ahead of the story, but I got to tell you this. Oh, this one card wanted to fly out. Oh, look at this. This is why the deck opened and this card came out. It is the 9 of Hearts. It's the yes card. If you're asking if there was an involvement by Artie, that's the yes card, the 9 of Hearts.
Damn.
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Sometimes, and believe me, I've heard it all. I have stories that I could literally tell you, gentlemen, of clients that call me who have just been involved in a crime. And instead of calling the police, they call me. Don't ask me. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, the bars are closed. Let's call Zelda. But in my experience, I believe that sometimes people manufacture more to try to explain their actions than what they really need to. Meaning, oh, gee, I saw that crime scene and, I went in later, I went here, I went whatever. I saw that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I don't want anybody to say, well, what the heck are you doing in there? Why did you feel you had to go through that area? Where were the police? Was that not taped off at that particular time? Why would the police? Why would
He said he went to. He
authorities?
said he went to get the kitty litter box in the kitchen, and you got to go through the dining room where Janet was found to get to the kitchen. And this is what the dining room looked like. This is what her what it
There's
looked
no
like
way.
when they found her. Check it out. I'll show you. This is what it looked like. So he had to
I
walk through
actually
the
got
murder.
the book.
He had to walk through the murder scene right here. This is a colorful picture.
Okay.
He had to walk through that. You see the big area of blood. So he had to walk through that. We're gonna let you come in and get the kitty litter box. Yeah, that's important.
There's absolutely no way.
Now, to me, this is a crime scene photo. I would love to be able to see the crime scene photos to see if
I
there
would
even
too.
was a cat box in there.
I would
Yeah,
too.
in the kitchen. In the kitchen. This ain't the kitchen. This is the even though it looks like a kitchen, but this is the dining room. Kind of looks like a kitchen at first glance.
First of all, it's obvious she put up a fight, right?
Yeah.
She put up a fight.
Oh yeah.
So if he had cats and he had cat hair
Hold on,
on her,
I'm sorry, Zelda. Someone just asked, "Is that a carpet?" No, that's not a. What do you mean? The big blood stain you see right there?
Well,
are you talking
that
about the
looks like
floor itself?
linoleum or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like linoleum or something?
Yeah, it's not carpet. No. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Zelda.
It's okay. No problem. My train of thought just left me, and I apologize. Let me
Don't
see if
worry
I
about
can
it.
bring it back.
We were talking about the kitty litter box, him going from the dining room into the kitchen to retrieve it.
Absolutely. Oh, I know. I was thinking about Janet fighting. She fought
Fighting.
back.
Yeah. Yep.
If whomever, and God rest her soul, if whomever had cat, like I said, you can see, and I've got black, which they say attracts everything but money in a man, and cat hair. But if she was fighting, she's going to grab, if somebody has cat hair, whatever residue is on, she's going to have it on her hand.
Right.
She wouldn't have had to fight. She would not have had to fight. But there was not an element of surprise in here. I'm going to tell you that's the vibration that I'm getting from this photo. This was not somebody who just randomly came in. There was not an element of surprise, and it was not by Eddie. There was someone who came in, and it was the anxiety of that oh no factor. That's basically it. It's that oh shit crap, I'm being ganged up on. She may have been able to fight off one, but she wasn't able to fight off two. And let's think of her brassiere. Let's think of who would have been there, who wanted to or could have hypothetically removed that and then put that on. Certainly not Eddie. I mean, let's think about this. What experience did Eddie have? Probably none. Not that he probably didn't think about it, but he didn't have any.
And if Paul dressed like a girl, he must have wore a bra.
I think even though this happened and it took a few minutes for her to fight, it happened quickly. And I think, let's think about this. She could have been fighting, but I think she was a small woman, wasn't she? Was she petite or was she small woman?
Yeah, I think she was 5'2", 114 pounds, I believe.
Yep.
You could hold her mouth very easily and someone else help you. There wouldn't have been screams. There wouldn't have been this was a problem. And it was quick, even though she was struggling to get away and it was all over. She was a beautiful lady. I mean, I've seen pictures, my goodness. But she was tiny. But I don't see the capability of Eddie doing that. It just doesn't resonate. I don't see that. So with this going in several rooms, from what I gather, there was someone else there, and it wasn't a man who removed her undergarment. It looks like a woman. So however anybody wants to form that is the way it is. But that's what I'm getting from this photo.
Damn.
Wow.
You know, when I'm going to tell you what, when I come up there to visit 34 Fairview, when Nan and I come up, can we meet? Can we? I would love to, if nothing else, drive past this place.
I can meet you there.
With this happened.
Of course,
And
we can make that happen.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I wish we could get into it, but I'm certain that we cannot.
We're trying to make that happen too.
I'm trying to make that. Yep. Sorry, J.F.K. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Good.
I'm working on trying to get in the house to take pictures myself right now. So
if you take the pictures, send them to me, because there's residual energy in that house, and it's not going to rest until this comes to fruition.
So what do you feel about Adi? What when you've been watching us, and you know, because I see you in the chat now, you're here now, you're listening to the recordings, you're seeing, you know, you did your own little reading on it, you flip pages and pages. Is Adi the culprit? He was involved, you said?
I'm going to tell you this. I am not. I can't accuse anyone, and I won't. But I will tell you this: there's a big energy field around him that cannot be penetrated, and I have questions. And it makes me think and feel that there's more there than what he's saying and what meets the eye.
what about the key?
Yeah,
you know anything about the key?
Oh, the key to his that was a panic because there was a concealment around the key. A panic for the key because there was a concealment around the key.
Can you expand a little bit on what you mean? The concealment?
Was he hiding something that the key would open? And was that something that he wondered? I mean, you know what I would love to do one of these times, and we may do it in my channel. I would love to do some EVPs and ask Janet's energy if she can come in and talk to us and give us
That'd be
some
awesome.
idea. We should, if you want to collaborate and do that, we should do that. I'm more than happy to do that. And it would be the energy, because I'm not a person that calls back spirits or calls back anything, because energy doesn't lie. And many of people here in the chat have been in in fact, we did them tonight with John O'Keefe, but many times it'll call names and say some things that just gives me the chills, and it will point out things, and you just never know. Janet her energy, because it's unsettled. I mean, her spirit is gone. She's with the good guy. She's with our Father. But her energy remains because it's unsettled. And this is just like.
What do you got to say about him getting jumped?
Eddie?
Is that true? Yeah, he said he got jumped and he got cut getting jumped.
I believe it.
You believe it? You believe he left that house. He runs down the street. He goes to Burger King. He goes to Union Square in Somerville, which is a little town square. He gets jumped and stabbed in his hand. Right after he's seen what he's seen, that's not a coincidence. You believe it, or is something you feel? Do you feel like he got cut in the house? Do you feel like he knew the killer?
No, I don't believe so. What I believe is that on the other side of the coin, there were people that didn't like Eddie. I mean, look at Eddie's size. Look at how Eddie was good-natured. We all make mistakes. He was 15 years old. But I don't believe that he did this. And I believe that because first of all, if you had to fight for the finish in that house on that crime scene, would you come out there looking like it? Wouldn't you come out of there covered? I mean, I've experienced an unaliving right in front of me in Charleston, South Carolina, December 11th of 1987. I was covered. You're covered with that type of thing, because people don't realize how that just splatters and goes. If what he did to her that was so heinous, he would have something more than just these little cuts on his hand, and he would be covered. He would be covered.
What about the blood trail to Artie's car? Do you know anything about that?
The what? The trail of Artie's car?
No, the blood trail that was behind Artie's car, the cab.
Could that have been something that he was concealing in his trunk of his car? Is that why he didn't? Is that the key problem? Why he was panicking? He didn't have the key?
Seems like it.
Because the key is the key. It's the discovery part. I mean, what happened to that car? Is it junked now?
The woman said it got junked. I asked about it. I'm like, what happened with that car by chance? And she said, yeah, that got junked a long time ago. I said, damn, too bad we couldn't find it, see if there was evidence in it.
Well, there still could be if you could find it. I mean, that stuff doesn't go away. I mean, I've been on paranormal investigations where there's blood stains in floors and in, like, in the Amityville horror house on Long Island in Amityville. I mean, 50 years later, there's still that in that house. No matter how you professionally clean it. I mean, you take a little bit of luminol and you're, you're going to find something. But I think there's more that is about ready to come out. There's more that is about ready to come out. And you can look at this situation and see who is the most nervous when that happens. See if who's the most nervous.
Well, how about this, Lady Zelda, right?
Yes,
You know,
sir.
you say you like listening to the music up here, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
before we let you go, we got to take you up to 39,000 feet.
Let's go.
Everybody in the chat, we're about to take you up to 39,000 feet. Who's ready for this? Put your ones up right about now. We in the Groove Lounge.
Now entering, Groove Lounge, Groove Lounge. Meditation, 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 elevation, 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 dedication, dedication, meditation, meditation, elevation, elevation, dedication, dedication.
At the evidence, you'll see the truth.
Let's go.
I just wanna chill and twist the lie.
Come on, Lady Zelda.
745. You
Come on.
drive me crazy, shorty. I
Here we
need
go.
to see you and feel you next to me. I provide everything you need,
shit.
and I like your
Let's go.
smile. I don't wanna see you cry.
God
Got some
damn.
questions that I gotta ask, and I hope
Let's go,
you can
Lady
come
Zelda.
up with the answers, baby. Girl, hey, it's easy to love me now. Hey, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh, now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got locked
Come
up
on,
and
Lady Zelda, everybody, let's go.
it's to a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally? If I went back to a hoopty from a Benz, would you poof and disappear like some of my friends? If I was hit and I was hurt, would you be by my side? If it was time to put in work, would you be down to ride? I get out and peel a brother cap, chill and dry. I'm asking questions to find out how you feel inside. If I ain't rap cause I flip burgers at Burger King, would you be ashamed to tell your friends you're feeling me? In the bed, if I use my tongue, would you like that? If I wrote you a love letter, would you write back? Now we could have a little drink, you know, a nightcap, and we could go do what you like. I know you like that. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh, now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Now would you leave me if your father found out I was thugging? Do you believe me when I tell you you the one I'm loving? Are you mad cause I'm asking you 21 questions? Are you my soulmate? Cause if so, girl, you a blessing. Do you trust me enough to tell me your dreams? I'm staring at you trying to figure how you got in them jeans. If I was down, would you say things to make me smile? I treat you how you wanna be treated, just teach me how. If I was with some other chick and someone happened to see, and when you asked me about it, I said it wasn't me, would you believe me or up and leave me? How deep is our bond if that's all it takes for you to be gone? We only humans, girl, we make mistakes to make it up, I'll do whatever it takes. I love you like a fat kid love cake. You know my style, I say anything to make you smile. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh no, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you Could you love me on a bus? I'll ask 21 questions, and they all about us. Could you love me in a Bentley? Could you love me on a bus? I'll ask 21 questions, and they all about us. One more.
Every now and then I look up to the sky, and while the minutes pass I lose track of time, but all I gotta do is try to spend it right. Let's take one more time to celebrate like there ain't no tomorrow. So let's just make a memory, 'cause tomorrow will be too late. Don't think twice and hesitate, 'cause it's all that we got for now. Just one more time to make it great, yeah. Just one more time.
That was beautiful.
Hey, that was a lot of fun.
That was beautiful. Gets
That
you
was the
moving.
best.
That was the listen. I dance to you guys all the time. I'm ready to rock it out.
God
Let's
damn,
go.
I'd dance with you anytime.
Let's go. Let's
You
go.
re-
Let's go.
Let's go then. Hold
Let's
on.
go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I know you know this one. Sing it.
Listen.
God damn, let's go,
Sing
girl.
my life with his words.
Go ahead.
Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly with his song. Telling my whole life with his words. Killing me softly with his song.
Here we go. Let's go.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Let's take it up to
Ready.
39,000. Here we go.
Let's go.
We're about to take it up to 39,000, y'all. We got goals in different area codes. Let's go, people.
With his song.
Yo, this is why Clef Refugee Cat Criswell, little bass sitting up here on the bass. While I'm on this roast, I got my girl L. One time. Hey yo, L, you know you got the lyrics.
I heard he sang
a song. I heard he had a star.
Come on, keep going. I'm messing you up.
I can't see him and listen for a while. And then he was this young boy into my eyes. Singing his life. Whoop, I screwed up. With his words. Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly with his song. Telling my whole life with his words. Killing me softly with his song.
In a dream, don't know which way to go. If you
Come on, Lady Zelda. I know you know this one.
go.
Hold on. Come on, Lady Zelda. You know this one? You taking it back to 86.
I don't know all the words to this one.
We started dancing and love put us into a groove. As soon as we started to move, the music played while our bodies displayed through the dance. That love picked us out for romance. I thought it was clear the plan was we would share this feeling just between ourselves. But when the music changed, the plan was rearranged. You went to dance with someone else. We started dancing and love put us into a groove. But now he's with somebody new. What does love want me to do?
Everybody, let's do the Zelda. Gotta do the Zelda.
Pretending our dance is just a dance that I see. He's dancing his way back to me. Yes, he discovered we are truly love. It's magic from the very start. This love just got me grooving and it got me moving, even though we danced apart. We started dancing and love put us into the groove. As soon as we started to move, as soon as we started to move, love said, "Let the music play. Just keep grooving and he'll
I don't have a cat. What about the dog, Addy? Here we go.
He tried pretending our dance is just a dance that I sing. He's dancing his way back to me. He's dancing his way back to
Drop it like this. You know this one. Sure love it.
I think you're wanting me to sing.
You know this one?
Long time. Yes, Lady Zelda's first name is Zelda. You want me to sing, aren't you,
All right, sing
J.F.K?
it. Sing it.
I don't know all of this one. I don't know all of it.
Take your passion.
Happen.
Here we go.
Turn it up and let me sing it so I can hear it.
I got one for you. You might know.
Okay.
You know, living on a
Garland,
prayer.
Doris Day.
You know, like a prayer, Madonna.
What? Oh,
This one
not
right
that
here?
one.
Which
Not
one?
that one.
Which one you know?
Now
Puppet
I'm
don't
trying to
preach.
think. Now you all are trying to get me a say. I don't know. Oh, sissy.
Name a song. Name a song that you like to sing. Let me see if I got it.
Let's see. Judy Garland, Doris Day, or do you just want me to sing without the music?
Go ahead, sing some.
What would you like to hear? Christmas,
Yeah,
choir,
sing.
opera.
Yeah, let me hear a Christmas song. Christmas Carol.
Okay. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Through the years, we all will be together. Let the fates allow. From a shining star upon the highest bough, oh, have yourself a merry little Christmas now. There you go. I'm out of breath from dancing. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Opera. I was trained in opera, J.F.K. I was trained in opera, gentlemen.
Nice.
Well, I was trained in putting polos in the bag, but we'll keep that between me and you. But I'll tell you this. Do you mind jumping under the mistletoe for the last song with us?
Oh, there we go. Hey, there you go.
Let's do it like this.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer.
Christmas time, y'all.
In the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty with you, shawty with you, under the mistletoe.
I want to give a big shout out to Trisha O'Brien that's in the chat tonight. Trisha,
Yes.
if you're out there, if you're out there, my Dukes, Merry Christmas, all right? Eddie will be home soon. Don't worry about that. The song's to you. Let's go.
Everyone's gathering around the fire, chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer's flying through the sky so high. I should be making a list, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you.
There you are, Mr. O'Brien.
The wise men follow the star, the way I followed my heart, and it led me to a miracle. Hey, love, don't you buy me nothing, I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a merry, merry Christmas. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spend so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I will be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate you, Lady Zelda, for coming up tonight, dancing with us, partying with us, reading our cards. And you could come on any other time. There's so much stuff we could talk about with you for days. So
Well,
we definitely got to, let's get you up here.
I would love to have you on my channel, but I got to tell you, I want to know how to play your music. I want to know how to play music and dance on my channel without getting copyrighted. Hello.
Well,
That is a big
that's
issue.
yeah. Well, that's because I'm friends with the president of the United States of America, so nothing can.
Damn.
I got a pot it. I got a YouTube pot it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll
You
take
know,
that. Fair
yeah,
enough.
I
Fair
got a
enough. I
YouTube
love
pot
it.
it. I
I
just ain't scared. That's all.
There you go. I'll tell you what, I would love to come back. We can talk about anything you like. We'll read cards, we'll do numerology, we'll figure out who we can point the finger at and who we can't. And that sounds like a lot of fun, but I want to do some EVPs for Janet
Yeah,
soon.
that would be great.
And,
I'd like to be
and
involved with that. Yeah.
And we could go over some we could bring Trisha up here again if she's up to it. If you want to read her
Okay.
cards or something, if she's up to something
Absolutely.
like that. I don't know if she's into something like that, but not only that, we could go through some old guests that we had, not old guests, but recent guests of the Eddie O'Brien case, and we can go through it and you can as
Let's
we're
do
going
it.
through it, you could do what you do to figure out what's what. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff we could cover. Definitely
We sure
definitely a great collab for sure. It's fun.
I
I love
feel
it.
so too. I had so much fun because every time I got to tell you, every time your channel comes on, I'm a dancing in the background with these songs coming. My favorite song that you play is the first one that you played when we first started dancing. That's my favorite one.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I had so much fun with you gentlemen. This is going to be such a great year. I thank you so much. I'm so honored to come on with you. Had a great time. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. And we'll see you again soon, okay?
Bye-bye. And thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. You be
Thank you
well,
so much.
every
You
one
be
of
well
you.
too.
Big,
Sleep well,
big
girl.
hugs and love. You too, darling. Thank you so much, my darlings, for being here in the chat and your support. Love you so much. And Mrs. O'Brien, no worries. We
And
got
everybody
Eddie.
and Natalie and my mods, please put up her link to her channel so you guys can go
Thank
sub up if
you.
you're not already did that. Lady Zelda,
Thank
we'll
you.
talk soon, okay, sweetie?
Thank you, my darlings. Sleep
Peace
well.
and love. You too. Peace.
Good night.
Yes, Lady Zelda, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, damn, we got our cards read.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
we're
a
all
first.
fours. Yeah,
That's
a
a
first.
first for me, man.
Me too.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's fun. She's fun, and she's not afraid. And she is unique
real.
for sure.
Just like Miss 808 just said, she's real.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Got a little bit. She killed that Christmas song.
God damn, she's a good dancer, bro.
Yeah, she was getting busy.
Cats,
I was going back and forth with you guys. That shit was great.
Yeah, the cat. She likes cats too. That cat, he looked like a good boy or a good girl. I don't know.
Did
That
you
cat
want
was cool.
Did you want to give him a vaccination?
God damn.
The kitty.
You love kitties.
Look like a good cat.
Yeah, man. So where are we at, man? So she said we talked about the Kara Reed case, which I thought was awesome, right? And that's what I mean. Like I was telling James this, and I think I was telling you. I mean, I was on James' stream earlier. If you guys missed that, I mean, I've been streaming all day. It seems like I did a stream earlier with me. I did a quick hour, and then I did a video with me and Brad, DYS Untold, brand new video. If you guys seen that, I did that back in July with him, and I finally put it out. And then I did a stream myself, and then I did a stream with James for like 2 hours. Me and James back in this, me and James, man, like old times, back and forth. And did a song for him. Did a layover intro for him. Made him a layover dope intro. It's dope as shit. It was fresh.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, hooked him up. But yeah, man, me and James were talking, and we got, James likes to talk about, what James likes to talk.
God damn, James.
Yeah. And he reels me in with that shit, man. But I mean, we just spoke our truth, man, and we was just, and it's funny because tonight that particular person, but whatever, we ain't trying to talk about that. But yeah, we talked about our truth or whatever about some things, and James is James, man. He's a funny bastard, man. He's just a funny funny dude. You know, he does things his way. And like I said, is that the right thing? I don't know, but that's his thing. And I ain't judging anybody. You know what I mean? And that's how I am with my friends. You know what I mean? I don't judge you guys. If you guys smoke cigarettes, that's your thing. And I used to do that. And I would tell you guys not to do that. You guys shouldn't do it because I quit. You could quit. But I don't step on my friend's neck. If that's their vice, whatever. I got my own vices. I'm a weirdo. I got my own shit. You know what I mean? So, but my point is, it's like, you know, James, the layover is a vibe. It's a vibe over there. So I guess it is what it is. You know, I try to do my best to not talk about things like James was talking about certain people going against each other. Did you hear the impression he was doing earlier?
Yeah, he's crazy.
God damn, that impression was spot on.
Spot on.
He was like, "Hey, Axel."
God damn, I missed that shit, man.
Yeah, he was funny. He made me die laughing. I ain't gonna lie, I was laughing.
Yeah, he was killing that impression earlier. I mean, I held him down. You know, he wanted to go live. He said, "You want to come on?" And well, he kind of set me up. I'm gonna be real with you guys. He set me up because what he did was he went over a video where I was solo on the video. I don't know where James was at the time, but James, it was October of 2024 last year, and I was talking about the Lindsay Turtle Boy case of how she set him up. And like, you know, there's levels, there's layers to that, right? You know, and so I went through. I basically was paralleling it how, like, if you're in the scope, how they can set you up and how they did that to him, right? And so we start talking about that, you know, and his. I thought the theme of the show was like, see, we was always about breaking down the case because I did a pretty good job of breaking that shit down. I was focused on it that day. I locked into it, and I broke it down of how I seen that. That was like the first time I ever spoke on his case, and I broke down how I seen it. And so he was like, "Yo, you did a good job on this. I'm gonna play this video because people say that, you know, you don't break shit down, but you did in this. So I'm gonna play it. You care?" I said, "Nah, play it." So we're playing it, and then he was like, "So that leads me to the question: why would you buddy up with someone who put you in jail?" I'm like, God.
Yeah, he did. I heard that. He said you were lovely.
I'm like, "Yo, bro, that's what we're talking about?" He was like, "Yeah, my bad, J.F.K. I'm like, fuck. And that's it. Once he got me talking, I started yapping. I'm like, dude, Kev's gonna hear this. He's gonna say JFK is the biggest fucking hypocrite.
So you guys, so you guys were talking about, and see, I try not to talk about.
Yeah. Well, not in a bad, like, honestly, we didn't really bash, you know, but he led me there. Like, he was slick with it. Like, I thought the point was because he this is what he told me. This is how he broke it down, James. You know, context, James, bro. You got to be very careful with his context. He said, we have a lot of old video streams that are great. And he was like, I'm going to just start going over some of these streams to let people know how important or how, you know, a lot of things we said back then are relevant now. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, you know, because there is some good streams. We, you know, just like this one. This is a good one. Next year at this time, we could play this one and be like, yo, look at what we did last Christmas. This is a good stream. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. But I had no idea he was going to hit me with the twist of fate.
God damn.
Oh, man. I'm cutting promos and shit. But I mean, I didn't talk any shit. I just spoke like I always say, my truth. I just, you know, how I feel about it, you know, about that situation. Just everything's messy now, you know. But the segue off that, you know, I've been streaming all day, and I just put a goal up right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's a new goal in the chat. Jahey's in here. What up, Jahey? What's up, girl? We haven't seen you, girl. But we got a goal in the chat right now. Who's coming underneath the mistletoe, man? Who's next? Maybe Jahey and Kev. You down to go under the mistletoe with Jahey?
God damn.
Beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer.
Come on, Jahey.
Playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe.
With Jahey.
I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow. I'ma be under the mistletoe with you, shawty with you, shawty with you. Everyone's gathering around the fire. Chestnuts roasting like a hot July.
God damn. Free Kelsey wants to go underneath the mistletoe. You ready? You need this gum?
Yeah. Get me chapstick.
Yeah, here, I'll take the chapstick. Free Kelsey wants to go under the mistletoe. Come on. Here we go, Free Kelsey.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty, with you.
God damn. Brainy wants to come underneath the mistletoe. Come on, Brainy, come over here. I got it hanging right here. You ready? Come here. Let's go. Let's go. Merry Christmas, girl.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer.
Fill up them goals, man. Who's coming under the mistletoe?
But I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty, with you, shawty, with you.
Hold on, Miss 808. Get over here. Don't be shy. Besos, dame beso on my face, girl. Let's go. Here we go. Come
It's
on.
the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty, with you, shawty, with you.
Hey, Kevy Kev. Jay Brill. Jay Brill. What the duck wants to go underneath the mistletoe with you, my brother? God damn. What the duck is Jay
It's the
Brill?
most beautiful time of
Here
the
we go.
year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty, with you, shawty, with you.
God damn. What the duck? You need to calm down. Ooh-wee. Who else wants to go underneath the mistletoe? Who do we got up here? We got Free Kelsey. Here's one for Kevy Kev. And Nurse of Interest. Nurse of Interest, you can come over here. Free Kelsey. You can go over there to Kevy Kev. He got his chapstick out. Let's go. We under the mistletoe.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spreading so much cheer. I should be playing
Ooh, god
in the
damn,
winter
Miss
snow,
808,
but
Silver
I'ma
Fuck,
be
JV.
under the
What?
mistletoe.
Silver Fox?
I don't wanna miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face.
It's getting
I should
crazy
be
under the
playing in the
mistletoe.
winter snow,
Oh,
but I'ma
damn.
be under the mistletoe. With you, shawty, with you, shawty, with you.
Damn, Miss 808, man, it's getting wild underneath the mistletoe.
Goddamn Silver Fox. God damn.
Damn, son. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to control the jet, man. Hold on a minute.
Yo, don't crash this plane, bro.
Nah, don't worry about it, bro. I'm professional, bro. Yo, and I would never leave you out, Jay Brizzle. Free Kelsey. God damn, it's like that. Erin, I'm waiting under the mistletoe. Well, Erin, what's up, girl?
Under the mistletoe, everyone's gathering around the fire. Chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks, I know, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Word on the street, Santa's coming tonight. Reindeer's flying through the sky so high. I should be making a list, I know. I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you, under the mistletoe.
Damn, you going into surgery again, girl, Renee? God damn. Prayers up for Renee. Renee's back in the hospital. Prayers up for Renee. For sure, you under the mistletoe, girl. You already know. Goddamn, E-Pags just walked in the room, Kevy Kev, and she went straight to the mistletoe where you are right now, and she's wearing that. And she's wearing that good shit again. She says, "Thanks for putting up my tree with the lawn gamers." Pags.
The wise men followed.
Hey, Pags, you need to calm all the way the fuck.
The way I follow my heart, and it led me to a miracle. Hey, love, don't you buy me nothing? Don't you buy me nothing? I am feeling one thing.
Shout out to Sydney, Australia. That's what's up. It's summertime on the other side of the world. It's summertime on the other side of the world, and it's so fucking hot in Sydney. Now, you guys in hoodies are making me sweat. Well, goddamn. Are you under the mistletoe, Maria? There's a guy in your picture. I hope that ain't really you, Maria. But fuck it, you can come under the mistletoe. Hey, Paul, come here. Come here, Paul.
God damn,
Merry, Merry Christmas. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights fill the streets, spend so much cheer. I should be playing in the winter snow. I will be under the mistletoe. I don't want to miss out on the holiday, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shawty with you, shawty with you, under the mistletoe.
You say I'll never change, just to go around town with some gasoline, just trying to bomb a flame, gonna burn the whole place down.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Keeps the prank rocking. You say I'll never change, just to go around town with some gasoline, just trying to bomb a flame, gonna burn the whole place down. And how do you explain ever falling in love with a guy like me in the first place, and turn around and say that I'm the worst thing? I guess I'm the problem, and your mess never do no wrong. If I'm so awful, then why'd you stick around this long? And if it's the whiskey, then why you keep on pulling it off the shelf? You hate that when you look at me, you halfway see yourself, and it got me thinking, if I'm the problem, well, you might be the reason.
What up, Chad? How we doing? I go by the name of J.F.K. Oh, man, I need a ghost, too. Got Jay Brill in here, Kevy Kev 781. Let's go.
Our separate ways, and we're back and forth like a swinging
Like a
door,
swinging
and
door.
tomorrow's like yesterday. Some days better than the night before, and you're back with me again. Then you go and tell your friends that I'm the problem, and your mess never do.
Good night. It's Aaliyah, y'all. Is it Aaliyah or Allie? Good night, Allie. Appreciate you coming. What's going on over there?
If I'm so awful, then why'd you stick around this long? And if it's the whiskey, then why you keep on pulling it off the shelf? You hate that when you look at me, you halfway see yourself, and it got me thinking, if I'm the problem, well, you might be the reason.
As long as you come underneath the mistletoe's fine with me, Maria. But I am not going inside the ocean in Sydney, Australia. Okay, I'm cool with the tiger sharks. I ain't fucking with the great whites either. All right, we got enough great whites in Cape Cod. You ever been to Cape Cod, kid?
your breath, such a waste of time. Then why are you on your way to waste another five?
J.K. representing Lawtown says, "Miss do no wrong over here." J.K. the first time I ever talked to you, that's the first thing I thought. Would you believe it?
Friday night, if I'm the problem, and your miss never do no wrong, if I'm so awful, then why'd you stick around this long and if it's the risk? Why you keep on pulling it off the shelf? You hate when you look at me, you halfway see yourself, and it got me thinking, if I'm the problem, well, you might be the reason.
Let's jump.
Out of your favorite book, you showed me lies just by the way you look. Taught me a language that I never speak. Baby, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. I took my grave watching the way you move. You took me higher than I ever flew. Too many times gave you a second chance. Baby, I'm just a man. I'm just a man. No. Thinking about you late night. No, go running around with your friends and I'm picking the pieces of my soul about the floor. I said I would die for you, baby, but I can't take this pain no more. I thought I was willing, but tonight I saved my life when I showed you the door.
Hey, yo, so how about this, right? Miss 808, I'm in a party in Conyers, Georgia, in the middle of the woods. And who do I run into in the middle of the woods? Chilling. Teddy Swims. Would you believe
When I
it?
showed you the door. This day would ever come. When I looked you in the eyes and pulled the rug, you tried to.
I was trying to get him to come on Trill Static 5, man. I talked to him on the phone right before I went to Miami. I got his phone number. I called him up. He wants to collab, man. He wants to collab, but he just had a baby.
Take away my sanity. Baby, that ain't for me. That ain't.
I'm working too.
That ain't for me. Oh no. For thinking about you late night. No. For running around with your friends now. The picking the pieces of my soul from out the floor. I said I'm for you, baby.
Guess where she's from? She's from New Hampshire. Would you believe it? Hey, yo, on the real shit, Maria, listen, don't threaten this crew with a good time, because me, Jay Brill, and my man Kevy Kev 781 will jump on that fucking hit. Listen, I'm a pilot. I ain't afraid to take the 20-hour flight. Matter of fact, I'm gonna fly it. All right. Jay Brill just has to sit all the way to the back and calm the fuck down. Don't worry about it. James Jackson's gonna hit him. James Jackson got a bottle of all types of shit. He'll just give it to him. James Brill will go to sleep. Kevy Kevs will let him smoke on the flight. He'll smoke a cotton. And we'll come to Australia. We'll come fucking
Gotta
hang
bring
out.
my horn. I gotta bring my horn though.
Let's go. Becky G, I got you. Let's take it to Lawtown. Nicky Jam. Let me holler at you. Goddamn.
Nosotros es de barrio fino, un tipo
Here we
muy
go.
real.
The big boss.
Nos hubo una apuesta que ni te miremos que te va a robar. El otro es medio loco, con 20 tatuajes y ese swing de calle. Y en su Lamborghini con la vida salvaje quiere impresionar.
Oh, she said to Greece? Oh, man. So we going to Greece? Let's go. What are we doing? We eating the baklava? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Who's taking us to
damn.
Greece, man? The Venmo at JFK show off. I'm on the next flight. Let's go.
El tercero es un poeta, trae serenatas, brilla como el sol. Solo escucha. El chico de las poesías, atentamente tu servidor.
Damn, she's a Greek princess. God damn.
Sensual, sobrenatural. Uno de nosotros te tiene que conquistar. Sensual, sobrenatural. Uno de nosotros te tiene que conquistar. Quiero ser dueño de tu cama, tratarte como una dama. Los tres tenemos la fama, pero a mí nadie me gana. Escúchame, Romeo te habla bonito y Yankee tiene a Yamile. Yo te hago travesura, mami, hasta el amanecer. Tengo lo que hace falta para hacerte enloquecer. Por eso te pregunto si quieres ser mi mujer. ¿Con quién te vas? Tengo la curiosidad. Dime si soy yo, dame la oportunidad.
Lisa, what up, Lisa D? You sent me a super chat, but it didn't come up on the scene. She got kicked from the stream. Say hello to Lisa. Lisa, what up? I don't know what happened. Who kicked you out? Hold on a minute. Let me make a phone call. I got to grab my phone. Hold on a minute. Let me make a phone call. Hello?
God damn.
Hello?
Yeah?
Can you patch me through with the horn you got? You got the special patch me through.
Yeah, let
Hello?
me patch you through the resources.
Yo seré un loquito, pero puedo amarte. Dime mamacita, porque quiero llevar el
Let's go.
y sensual, sobrenatural. Uno de nosotros te tiene que conquistar. Y sensual, sobrenatural. Uno de nosotros te tiene que conquistar. Si tú dejas que te invite.
And just like that, Pot 32 has concluded. God damn. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, man. 319 people at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is what I'm saying. This is all love. This is all peace. And I still want to keep partying, but my ass got to go to the gym and try to lift something up because I'm a weirdo. And I'm going to go get a Ghost Energy on the way. That's how fucking dedicated I am. Although Ghost Energy is fucking trash. Probably shouldn't be drinking
Yeah,
it.
man.
But I love it. I ain't gonna
Raspberry
front.
cream, dude.
Raspberry. You need to calm down with the raspberry cream, OG.
Damn, raspberry cream, unbelievable.
Is it? I'm gonna go get me one, bro. Yeah, dude, hold on a minute, man. Mom. But listen.
I think I hear the train coming. God damn.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, resources.
Oh, man. But listen, everybody, I appreciate your time. Lady Zelda, I appreciate you. This is Pot 32. We had
Yeah, that
Trisha
was
O'Brien
awesome.
in the chat. We talked about Karen Reed. We talked about life. We talked about Eddie O'Brien, of course. We got down to the bottom of it. She says there could be a woman involved, and that's just the first interview we had with Lady Zelda. I think it's going to get more interesting as it goes on, and we're going to come back with Pot 33. You guys got anything to say in closing? You, Jay, bro, you got anything to say?
She was a great guest. I was so happy with her.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, same
That's about
here.
it.
Same here. First time I ever got my cards read. That was
And just to let everyone know, I'm over here bobbing my head with the music, but you just can't see because my phone don't allow it, I guess.
It's all good, brother.
It's all right.
It's all good. You don't worry about it. In about a week, kid, you're gonna be fucking breakdancing.
God damn. Yeah.
I'm not forcing it, but we'll see what's up.
You're gonna be breakdancing with the kids.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'm new to this.
Hey, man. Nah, you're new to this, man. It's all good, brother. We ain't hating, man. We have fun. But damn, Lady Zelda,
Right.
she was getting busy. That's definitely some footage, man, right there.
Yo, that's some.
She's
Yeah,
amazing.
and
She
that's
got a voice on her.
That's Christmas music for next year too, bro.
Yep.
You know, like you could kick it off, man. God damn, we could
Absolutely.
revisit that
Thank you,
next
Maria.
year.
Hey.
Yeah.
And with that being said, this is Pot 32. I appreciate you. And if you're on the replay crew, we love you too. Do me a favor, go to my video section. I like that video I just dropped with Coach Brad. Go share it, go like it, leave a comment, get that algorithm going. And with that being said, I go by the name of J.F.K.
And I go by Kevy Kev.
And I go by Jay Brillon.
We'll see you guys next flight. Peace and love. We're going to DR, hey. Hold on, I didn't see that. God damn, man, we're going to DR too? Norman Corey says, Lisa sent you a super chat, but didn't come up. She got booted. Yeah, I'm going to J. Yeah. She said, pick me up. Well, Greece via Australia. Pick me up. I'll show y'all a great time. Greek style on the best islands. Shit. Don't threaten me with a good time. Free Kelsey coming through. Random fact, last 4 numbers of my cell phone number equals 444. Maria again, don't worry, JFK. Only go swimming in the Greek islands. It's my girl coming through, JFK, Kevy Kev. What the duck just dropped on, right? My super chat got him on screen. How much to get him dancing? How much to get him dancing? Shit. I'm going to have to ask him, right? But with that being said. Peace to all my mods, Norman Corey, What the Duck, Natalie, Make It Changes was in here tonight. Josie, she's on a vacation far away. My man Jay Brilliant, peace to Kevy. James Jackson, my man, go subscribe to James Jackson and Kevy Kev 781. Welcome
Down
to
from
Death
day
Row.
one. Welcome to Death Row.
Yeah.
We look at the evidence, you'll see the truth. We look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
We look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
We look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
We look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
Yeah.
We look at the evidence, you'll see.
Yo. Summer of 1995, hot night in July. Why did Janet have to die? This is the story of Eddie, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is petty, juvenile law and politics so deadly. 15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old, what's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street. Around the corner, washed up in the bathroom at Burger King. Janet was stabbed multiple times. Rest in peace. It was a gruesome murder scene. I agree. Eddie went to his work, said he got jumped, but never said a thing. What? About Janet lying there lifeless. His friend's mother from across the street. Shh. He was in the house. But Janet had a brother-in-law she kicked out for selling drugs. Said if anything ever happened to her, it's him you bring up. The night of the murder he showed up, was acting suspicious in the front yard. Gina in Virginia says he was looking for his keys. It was humid and muggy, but we were showered and neat. He was a cab driver looking for his key. Looking for a key to one of the cabs in the fleet. Yes. How did he know something happened on that street? Eddie says he is innocent, and the cab driver did it.
Who do you believe?
Believe.
DNA under Jana's fingernail unidentified. Who do you believe?
Come on, come on.
This is the story of Eddie, 15 years old.
Life in prison.
This is the story of Jane and life taken and stolen.
For no reason.
It was the summer,
July 1995.
do you all remember?
30 years ago, why she have to die?
15 years old, locked in a cage of murder that he always denied.
Let's go. Summer of 95. Life goes by. Welcome to the stream, long gamers. Peace and love.